Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Chess 24 India broadcast of the Julius Baer Challenges Chess Tour with the Hou Yifan challenge this time. A lot has changed in the last 1 year. We had a pandemic, we all had to sit home, but the most shocking of all, AD is getting married.
What?
But
No.
you did not know?
No, I thought it was a joke.
No, it's happening. It is happening.
No
It is finally
way.
happening.
He did not invite me?
I think he's playing this very close to his chest. So he hasn't invited anyone so far except Vishy.
Gosh.
Wow, you did not know this. He did not tell you. That is interesting. That is interesting.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't take it seriously.
Well, not everything in AD's life is a joke. But yes, some things don't change. And for you viewers, that's me commentating on Chess 24 India and Katie occasionally joining me. So we already had Katie's introduction with the shocking reaction to AD's marriage. But formally, welcome back, Katie. It's so good to be back with you.
It feels really good to be back, and we have such an awesome news. It's really, really good news. I think after the end of this stream, I will write him to get myself invitation to Indian wedding.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. But meanwhile, the action has begun, and Prague, who scored 5 out of 5 in the previous day, is back playing against Liang Avenda, who had a bit of a mixed day yesterday. He scored only 2.5 out of 5, but showed us glimpses of his fantastic strength. It's King's Indian. What do you do against King's Indian, Katie?
I usually play classical setup with bishop e2, knight f3, and so on and so on. Bishop e3, bishop e2. Here I play castle. And sure, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I have to be honest with that. Like sometimes I'm getting into huge pressure.
Like every King's Indian variation. But Prague chose to play bishop e2, short castle, bishop e3. This is a relatively new system within the King's Indian, relatively new because King's Indian is more than 100 years old. And I think bishop e2, bishop e3 kind of came into prominence only in the last 5 years or so. But it's been around for a while now. White delays the development of this knight. And usually, when it started out, the reason was that White wanted to play g4 first. And for this reason, it was useful to hold back the development of the g1 knight. But in more recent times, people started going h4 basically against everything. And we saw this h4 idea played by Arvind against Avivan in the Indian qualifiers. And now Prague, who is a close friend of Arvind and who works together often with Arvind, also aping it h4, knight c5, queen c2, h5, and now f3 with a possible future idea of g4. And now black just goes a5, preventing b4. The knight goes to h3, coming on to g5. So
can this knight also come on f2 to support g4 attack?
Yeah, that also makes sense. Leaving the g5 square to the bishop and trying to get in g4. I think this also makes sense. Meanwhile, I had warned the chat yesterday that it was their last day to answer questions, because from today I don't think they're going to get a chance to answer any questions.
Why?
You join us from today.
No, there'll be a lot of questions, right? It will be a lot of questions.
But yeah, one of the questions that I had after knight h3, would you take this knight, Katie?
You know what? If you take the knight, that's gonna help me to start attack on the king side. Like I'll be free to push g4. Yeah, you can play queen d7 maybe, but I can also like keep my king Can I get long castle here and the bring rook on g1?
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that and launch a furious attack opening files against the black king. So what Liang does is he plays c6, opening up the c file, so that when you do long castle later in the game, he has the rook on c8, which will help him give counterplay. This is Liang's idea with c6, and he's already preparing against um, White's attack. He's already preparing for counterplay against White's attack. Prague goes knight g5, and I guess this is a very nice position for White. What he has gotten.
I like it too. Like mainly in King's Indian, I'm very much afraid of this attack f5 f4. And if it's not happening, that I'm happy with any of King's Indian position.
Right. Bishop d7 played, and would you go long castle here?
Yeah, why not? I'm not sure though. Like there will be some moves like b5 at some point, right? Or c takes d5, rook c8.
Yeah. That's exactly why. That's exactly what Prague has to decide. Whether he wants to keep his king. Oh, he goes for short castle.
Oh,
okay. This is interesting. This kind of takes the game to a completely different direction from what we were anticipating, from what we were expecting.
Yeah. So does it mean that he will change the course of the game and he will start to play on the queen side, or he will still try to play on the king side, like with f4, open up the center? The knight from g4 perfectly well guards e4 weakness after f4. But yeah, you just pointed knight g4, like g4 square would be also a weakness.
Yeah, exactly. So two things, yeah. Like if you play f4, it opens up this bishop. And another thing, it opens up the e file for this rook for potential counterplay. And it also weakens the g4 square. So I think for these reasons, I would be very hesitant to touch this f pawn. I'd be very scared of playing f4. So in that case, what is White's plan? I would imagine White would want to try and get b4 at some point. So you start with b3 and then play a3 and then get b4 typically, because if you start with a3, then black plays a4 himself, and you can never get b4, like literally never get b4 in your life.
Yeah, the knight on c5 will be a monster there forever. So
true.
Yeah. How about we just step aside? Oh, queen d2 was just played. Yeah, queen d2 move just to get out from the spin. And what do you think about next moves, for instance, like bishop b5 to trade the light square bishop? Because our bishop is not that active, right? All these pawns are blocked on the king side at this color. And then slowly to try b3, a3, b4, just like we mentioned.
Yeah, I think bishop b5 makes quite a bit of sense. You have all these pawns on the same color, so you do want to try and trade the opposition light square bishop, which is not as hindered by its own pawns. So I do like this move, bishop b5. I think it's a nice strategic move. You might want to be a bit careful against potential counterplay of black related to queen b6, but yeah, I think so far it shouldn't worry White too much. I don't see it, but yeah, it's not an easy position to understand, I think, for anyone, to be honest.
Like it seems that both sides are okay, but hard to find out the plan also for black, like what's black's plan. It's not really easy to spot. Like if you start kingside attack now, like knight h7 or knight e8 and then f5, it causes black some weaknesses. Knight is so active on g5, and you cannot really do much on the queen side, right? Because you don't have enough forces either. So
True.
yeah,
True.
This is kind of unusual position for King's Indian, right? Because usually there is always attack on the king side and the queen side at the same time, and something really cool is happening. But now we have this kind of position. They are both okay, but hard to find a plan how to improve it.
True. One move that comes to my mind is Queen E8 with the idea of B5. Which is also quite typical in these type of situations. Black just gains some space and tries to get in b5 and b4. But it also explains why Liang is. Oh, he goes knight e8. It also explained why he was taking such a long time. It's not such a simple position to play.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest if we can go to the game of Pavel Tetzlav and Morzin Volodar. Like, what is happening here? How we got in? What?
I think it's some kind of a weird Caro-Kann. Yeah. A weird Caro-Kann. Okay. So Queen b3 here. The theory goes like not here. Yeah, I think it's not here. But I thought there's some bishop into f3. But I think I'm not in this position. No. But yeah, something weird has happened. Knight b6, d5 takes knight d4. But at the end of it, I think black is doing pretty okay. Black has a better pawn structure. I like black's pawn structure.
Yeah, I like the knight on d4. It like controls the whole board. And for instance, what happens after bishop e3, and why white didn't play bishop e3? He's avoiding e5 probably.
Yeah, he wanted to stop e5 and try and also put this bishop on this diagonal, the light square bishop, which is what he has, which black does not have. I mean, he has the light square bishop, which black does not have. But yeah, I think black can just place his bishop on f6, casual shot, queen d7, and has a perfectly normal position.
Yeah.
Bishop e7 played. Meanwhile, I couldn't help but notice the opening in the game of Leon Mendonca against Gunay Mahmadzada. It started with this Queen's Gambit declined, but you know what opening it is after this position, right?
We don't know. It just got into the Catalan. And yes, quite common position, right, in Catalan. But Sri, can you tell us what's the difference? Like usually we see these knights developing after b3 or queen c2. So what is the difference in this position?
In general, it's a bit of a disadvantage to commit your knight to c3 in Catalan. Because usually black takes this pawn on c4, and it's preferable to take it back with the knight as much as you can. So with this knight on c3, it disrupts the momentum of white's pieces. It disrupts the flow, and for this reason, it's better not to commit the knight onto c3 in any of these Catalan setup positions. So here, yeah, I think starting with knight c3. Bishop e7, g3, but black played a very unambitious system, with c6 and knight b7. Usually after g3, it's not a bad idea to take d into c4 and go into these Catalan positions where white has committed the knight to c3. It is, in general, a good thing for black.
Yeah, also this kind of push like b5, a6, b5, or c6, b5 would be even stronger as the knight is already developed on c3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With the knight already developed on c3. But black went for this very unambitious setup with c6 and knight b7. But maybe here I would have preferred queen d3, try and get the pawn to e4 instead of knight d2.
I have seen this. Like I was doing commentary of online Olympiad, and it was like at least 70% of the games what I have seen was Catalan. I was like, what's going on? What's going on here? And I have seen this idea, knight c3 and queen d3. I've never seen it before. It was the first time I saw. And I was like, what? is that, but it also makes sense because usually you just want to push e4. That's what white wants here, right? And this queen d3 also supports c4 pawn.
Yeah, exactly. It supports the c4 pawn, and pushing e4, it gives you more control of the center, gains more territory in the center, and it forces black to concede his control of the center, or in this case, her control of the center. So it's usually a very effective strategy, and white has different ways of doing this: knight bd2, queen c2, e4, knight c3, queen c2, e4, or knight c3, queen d3, e4. Knight d2, I think a bit less optimal. e4, d into c4, a4, bishop a6, e5, knight d5. So he has basically just given up this pawn in exchange for this pawn on e5, which controls a lot of space, doesn't allow this black knight on f6, and thereby it creates a lot of initiative on the king side. I'm sure you would love this question as white, Katie.
Yeah. I like it. So, what do you think about some kingside attack now with h4, bishop g5, or he's gone first rook d1?
Yeah, he's gone first rook d1, and makes complete sense. h4, bishop g5, or maybe just start with bishop g5 as well.
Yeah, without h4, right?
Yeah. The key defensive move here for black, it's maybe something we can ask the chat. It's a very strategic question, but there is one key defensive move for black which kind of creates more space for the black's defense. Classic rule in defense: you cannot defend with limited space. You cannot ever defend with limited space. So you need to create space for the king. Two reasons: one, you need those squares around the king to bring in more pieces to the defense. Two, sometimes the king needs to evacuate. Sometimes the king needs to run away. And for this reason, you have to create that space around the king. How would black do that here? Yes, Soham is right. Soham is exactly right. And it's also the move played in the game. Queen h5 was played, and now black goes f5. f5 is an important defensive move because you gain some space, you kick out the knight, the attacking knight, and after e into f6, knight into f6, you also get some squares for your own pieces. So I think so far it's been very good play by Gunai, who has apparently chosen to remain faceless for this game.
Sure. Can I play knight? Oh, it happened in the game. I was thinking about knight g5 instead, because that sort of forces black to take the knight, right? Like after f5, here. Because e6 is hanging. And in this position, we have dark square bishop. And don't you think, like, with this queen retreat and then h4, h5, we're gonna get something there?
I think it's not so easy for white, because yes, you do have this dark squares, but the problem is you cannot get this knight onto d6, and I think this makes a very big difference. So it's not easy to open lines, because h4, h5, black defends with h6, and then it's not easy to continue the attack. It's not easy to bring your pieces or open more lines against black's king. So I think this is the reason why he did not go for this, Leon. Instead, he chose to open up the lines. But in this case, I think queen h5 was not a good move. He should have kept. It makes life a lot easier for black. He should have kept things difficult for black in such a way that it's not easy for her to take these decisions. So this happened, and bishop e4 is the move in the present position. And
now h6 loses a game. I think after queen g6, this should be really bad. Bishop takes h6, just wins a pawn.
Yeah.
But instead of h6, there is g6 move. I think that's the only move that black can play right now. But what about just to capture it?
Well, technically, you can play g5, which is what she did play.
That's the only way to save, right? The pawn.
Yeah, the only way to hold on to the pawn. G5, and you see the rook comes into the play. I think black is okay here. It's
I
still
really
it's
like
still
White's position. After this bishop e4 and g5, he came back with bishop g2. He wants to play bishop h3. So a knight comes on e4. There will be some pressure on g5 and how black is going to guard all these weaknesses. E3, g5, e6, g5. That's too much.
Yeah, it's definitely a promising attack for white, but I think black does have the defensive resources. For example, after knight e4, let's just say I play something like queen d7. My point being that if you do take on g5, then I take back, and then I take on f2, and I get counterplay of my own. So uh, yes, it's a menacing attack, but I think there's some counterplay involved as well. And he retreats the queen back to e2, kind of admitting that the attack
I think
is
he wants
not
to play
quite going anywhere.
b3 or what? Like, because black cannot capture this pawn and white wants to capture b takes c4, kick the knight back, and to get some space to get some advantage on the queen side.
Yeah, b3 would be a pretty greedy kind of move, you know. You are expecting an attack on one side, and then white goes and tries to capture a pawn. But yeah, he has played b3. What does black do here? I don't see a very obvious move for black here, but I'm guessing. I mean, the computer thinks for sure that there's something. So I think there should be.
Yeah, black has to find 3 in 2 minutes. There is not more time than 2 minutes. And even if black finds that move, then it's still okay position. And look at this, bishop b2 will be the next move for white. White will try to open up the center and the bishop. And if white just gets this position like bishop b2 and b takes c4 and then d5, that is really hard to hold with low time.
Yeah. I think black just missed b3, and now black is white is doing quite good. White has I think a very good position.
Okay, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when is there G3, there's always B3 there. So, and if there's a B3, then its follow-up is G3. Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, all these openings and these setups are just like you, Sri and Adiman. It's so funny. That's so far what I have noticed. And whenever I see these games and I see both moves on the board, just it makes me laugh because they cannot live without each other, just like you guys.
I wouldn't quite go on to admit that, but I will also not strongly protest against it. Meanwhile, going back to the Prague game, which has actually reached a very interesting point. Prague down to less than a minute, and he has one pawn more. He is a pawn up. But what do you think, Katie? Do you think black has? Do you think black has attack? Do you think black has attacking possibilities?
I don't see a clear plan. I see like bishop f4, but this doesn't create a checkmate threat so far. But there's bishop g3 that holds h4 pawn. Not so easy.
Yeah, he's gone f5,
happened, right?
And it's not an easy position for Prague to defend with just 1 minute. But f5, it allows knight into e5. Yes, I wonder what a vendor thinks after knight into e5, because g6 is also hanging. I wonder if he even noticed that e5 was hanging. That's a lot of I wonder in a vendor's game, but not intentional.
And that's on the board, 95. I think it was a blunder.
Yeah, it certainly looks like he missed this. There is a bit of an interesting head-to-head between Prague and Prague and Liang. Liang defeated Prague in the online Olympiad in the semi-final in a very important game. So I'm sure Prague will be quite motivated to get this one back. Meanwhile, guys, let's get those likes going so that more people can come in and support our promising Indian juniors. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Meanwhile, I think it's also a good poll question. Are G3 and B3 secretly friends? I'll let the chat be the judge of that one. And
I'll vote. Yeah.
Ishan is like, whenever Shri makes a bad joke, Vidit trolls and Keti ignores. That's why Keti is Shri's favorite. I think. Are you really laughing at that comment? I didn't find it that funny.
It is. It is.
But okay. I mean, drama queens of a feather flock together. I think Liang
okay.
has completely lost the plot here. And this Queen B2 and Queen G2 was very nice. He blended this, and Prague has won his sixth game in a row. Prague OP in the chat, guys. What an amazing performance. 6 wins in a row, just after having a very bad online Olympiad. What an amazing comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really amazing. Like he has 100% so far. And it's not easy. It's really, these guys they are young, they are playing online chess all the time, and they're training a lot. So just to have like, you can be a leader, but when you have 100% score, this is above than just being simple leader.
Absolutely. And the game turned around at exactly this point when Liang, who seemed to have some promising counterplay, played f5, just blundering the z5 pawn. I think failing to realize that knight into g6 comes with a check. And after this, he kind of went into a meltdown. He kind of lost everything that he had. And this queen b2 and queen g2 was a very nice way to just exchange of the queens and win the game. Meanwhile, some other exciting live games are still in action. Vaishali's game still on. She's down with less than 30 seconds, and she's down by 2 points against Zhu China. And all the other games still going on. I think Leon seems to be on his way to win. Yeah, he has just taken this rook, and now rook into b6 is incoming.
Yeah, should be enough here. Like, not enough compensation for black, as the b7 bishop is so passive and the b6 pawn is super active, and that kind of leaves the position like opposite colored bishops. When, okay, you attack my f2 pawn, but I have rook to guard that. But how about my bishop attacking your h7 pawn? So I think this should not be very hard for white to convert.
So what do you play here?
Yeah, queen f3. Queen f3 was
and
nice.
Now queen h5.
I was thinking just to capture c6 pawn and then to push the b pawn further.
Oh, Katie, you're such a greedy weedy. You just don't want to checkmate. Yes, you just want to collect the pawns.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Leon's spoiled for choice here.
Everything but wins. Queen h5, that makes sense here. But after queen h5 there is bishop f2, so that's I would avoid that.
Okay. And if you just take, you have some queen d2. Queen d4. Nice.
Yeah. King f3, and you need to calculate tons of.
Yeah, true. Makes sense. Clever to just take bishop.
White went for king g2, so he just, I think he was worried about bishop f2 check, and after
he wanted to keep both the threads. Yeah, he wanted to.
Yeah. That's also smart.
This. Yeah, kids these days so smart. They retain all their options and then decide.
Yeah, they're making the best out of all the threads.
Yep.
Yeah, little queen trade offer.
This is not the most convincing way to convert this, yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense to trade the queen, but Gunai keeps creating chances. Queen f1 check in the air.
Bishop d3 maybe just to cover. Some checks.
I think white is just giving a few checks to just gain some time. And then maybe bishop d3.
Or rook d7, queen e6 was there, I think, a checkmate.
It's a checkmate. Yeah, queen h7.
Yeah.
King f6, there's queen h8 check. And king f8, there's queen f7 checkmate. So this was a nice win for Liang, who moves on to 4.5 out of 6. And the other live game is between Aditya against Olivia. Do you know this girl, Keti? She lives in the same country as you.
Her. Yes. I have played against her, and this year was so successful for her. She played over the board European Championship. She got medal, which is incredible. Like not many female player can dream for that, because this tournament is super hard to compete, because you have very strong opponents and it's quite costly to go there. And if you go there, then you face very, very strong opponents. Like it's not open tournament that you can just, go and
the European Championship. Yeah.
Yes. And after that event, she was invited to many tournaments, and I'm very happy to see her here in this event.
Nice. How old is she?
I'll check. I'm not sure exactly how old is she, but she's a very, very nice person. We had even little chat after the game.
And can you teach me how to pronounce her name?
Yeah, sure. Olivia, name, and Kielbasa is the last name.
Kielbasa.
Yeah, so you don't need several. I don't know why they are putting so much letters and not reading. Just not all is not sounded. Just Kielbasa.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the B3 opening. It's for cosmetic reasons, but doesn't really do anything.
I thought you were friends.
Friends are the ones we make most fun of.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I think this game is firmly going on towards a draw. And in the meanwhile, Vaishali has lost her first game of the day against Zhuzhana. The last position, it's filled with black pawns all around the board. So Vaishali has lost her first game. She is at 2.5 out of 5. And the Aditya Mittal Kielbasa game is the last one going on, in which it's likely to end in a draw. Regardless, black still has to be a bit careful though. Yeah, just a bit careful. If it was black, yeah, I would put this rook on f. Actually, I would have probably okay. She wants to put the rook on a6, does she?
That's risky business, no?
It's very risky, yeah. I don't know why she played rook f6 check.
I think she just goes with
okay.
This short side and long side thing.
But if you play c6 now?
Check.
Right. I don't like rook a4 check though. Now it's just a draw. Queen and queen's check, and it's a draw.
King a7, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, she's 21 years old. Woman international master. And her standard rating just boosted this year, like really much. The moment I played against her, she had lower rating than me, and now she has more rating than me. So
that's the
European Championship was just biggest achievement for her, and this is really amazing performance that she had.
But why are these kids still making moves here? I mean, there is the draw button on the screen, right? Why are they still making moves? I think they just want to keep the broadcast going.
What?
I think they just want to keep the broadcast going, so there are no empty games. All right, so that sums up round 6 of the Hou Yifan challenge. Prague winning his 6th game in a row. He has 6 out of 6 points, and his closest competitor Vincent Kamer, who had 4 out of 5, didn't play a game in this round. He had a bye. So we will wait for the clash between Prague and Vincent, who seems like the only guy who can catch up with him. But there is a new number two, Christopher Yu, who has 4.5 out of 5. He defeated Abhimanyu Mishra in this round, starting with d4, knight f6, c4, d6, which I show in great detail how to get an advantage with white in my course. Kidding, not in any specific detail, but it is one of the lines covered. D4, knight f6,
This is a new
d6.
course?
No, it's my Catalan course.
Okay.
It's 1d4 lifetime repertoire. It covers all the different things that black can play, except d4 e5, which Anish thought was a crime not to cover.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, he gave me 4 out of 5 rating because I did not cover d4 e5.
4 out of 5 because you covered everything, but not this?
Yes.
You covered f5 as well?
Of course. f5 and e6, c4, bishop b4 check, d4, d5, c4, c5, and all this stuff.
Sure. When I was at the university, we had a lecturer, low lecturer, and she was like, she was always telling us that we are not good enough to have 100% in her subject, which was one of the easiest subject at the university compared to IT or math or other things. And she was sometimes giving us like 99.9%. And when we were asking, like, where is this 0.1%? Like, for what you took this? Like, what? She was telling us that we don't know the subject for 100%, but she couldn't take more than that because the answer was very good. So it was always a bit complicated. Well, why was this necessary? I don't know. I don't agree with that. With him, actually, if you just covered all these things and not e5, that's.
The teachers are the same everywhere around the world. They don't want to make the students too happy, Yeah. They're like, if you become too happy, then you stop putting in effort. But I don't do that with my own students, though. If I gave them 99.9%, they wouldn't spare me alive. So I don't really have that option.
He could give like 4.9. He could do that, right?
Yeah, but he thought d4 e5 was so important. And so important that that it was worth 20%.
All right, so the question to you, Sri, and to our chat, what do you think? How long Prague will hold 100%? And if you also guys think that he can end this tournament with that perfect score, that could be huge. I would support that opinion.
Yeah, I think there is a total of 16 games that Prague can play in this tournament. So how long do you think Prague can endure the streak?
Yeah.
And 7.
Next, he's playing against
Murzhin. He's playing against Volodymyr Murzhin, the top Russian junior. After Esipenko is already about 2,700, but he lost 2 games against Liang in the final of the online Olympiad. So, pretty interesting.
It's not here, right, in this event?
No, it's too weak for him. Yeah, he's already like 27-20.
Yeah.
So he, I think he can already play in the Champion Chess Tour with just his rating. Which also reminds me, the winner of this tournament will play the first tournament of the Champion Chess Tour next season. So there is a lot at stake. These kids are not just playing for bragging rights. they get an opportunity to get back into the champion chess tour.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just to play in the championship, it's such a prestigious. It gives you a chance, and you already play for a huge prize fund, right? So it's like when you win something, you're not only winning one tournament, but you have also a huge perspective for the next
Yes,
season.
that is one thing, and also the opportunity to play against all the elite players, about 2750. I think that's priceless. To give you some context, in classical chess, in the whole of my career, spanning more than 20 years, I played only one game against an opposition rated about 2700. Although I'm a grandmaster, just one game in my entire life. So
yeah,
the opportunities to play against the elite, it's actually not, it wasn't that easy, it wasn't that accessible,
yeah,
unless you win tournaments like this, the challengers chess tour, and then you get an opportunity because you qualify,
yeah. I
or the
think
Indian qualifiers.
online chess gives opportunity for those players who has huge talent but has not chances to be among the elite players. It's just you just cannot really get there. No matter how talented you are, you need to get through many obstacles, right? But when you play online, it's kind of, you can be invited in many events. For instance, like Artemiev is a very good example of that. Like when it comes over the board tournament, also the organizers, and I'm sure the federation also wants to send Grishuk, for example, or Karyakin, who is well known, higher rated, and so on. But now he shows more of his skills, that he also deserves his place in the team and in the tournament, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is a great equalizer because the top events, the elite events in chess, they are something like a premium launch. Not everyone gets access to it. But online chess and especially the champion chess tour, I think it really throws open the launch access to anyone who plays chess well. So if you play chess well, you have these number of qualification events, and I think especially for these Indian juniors and Indian players in general, there are so many avenues to qualify from. There was the Indian qualifier, and there was the uh, there was the Indian qualifier. There is the Julius Baer Challengers Chess Tour with so many Indians, and there's also a whole set of tournaments coming up next year for the Indian players. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Alpha Weirdo in the chat is like, unless you get premium membership of Chess24 and be lucky during the banter blitz. Yes, that's another way you can play the elite players.
Yeah. It's a question if this is reverse Scandinavian. I think Scandinavian is one
I
and
just changed it.
unique.
Yeah, okay. This is the England Gambit. It's the England Gambit. It is an opening which was, I think it was popularized by the popular chess streamer Eric Rosen, who is actually a wonderful person. I just met him in Sochi. The point is, you give up this pawn, and then after knight c6, knight f3, bishop c5, bishop f4, d6, e into d6, knight e7, and then you go like, oh no, my knight.
Oh my god.
Your opponent takes it, and then you take his queen.
Nice. Wow, nice trick. But if I don't
Yeah.
take the knight on e7?
Well, then it doesn't work. You can just play e3. That's a thing with tricks in life, It usually doesn't work, but it's nice. It's like 1b3.
All right, we see the players on the screen already. Prague looks very focused. Either he's looking at some variations or he's just trying to recall. And Murzin, he's more relaxed now. There is huge point difference between them, right? Prague has 6 points and Murzin has 3.5.
Right. Yes. And the other pairings for this round, Aditya Mittal plays black against Gunai Mamadzada, and Vaishali plays black against Sokolowski, and finally Leon plays black against Christopher Yu. So we have 4 black games for the Indians, and on that note, we also have a very special guest joining us. Can you guess who it is?
Chat has to guess, or I have to guess?
You.
Okay, I see it already.
I think chat might also, if they refresh, they might see it in the title.
Yeah.
A very special guest who is a kind of regular, who's starting to become a regular in the Chess 24 India channel. Loved by the YouTube India chess fans. India number 2, world number 22. And yeah, you see it in the title. The master of falling into mate in ones, Vidit Gujarati.
The last line was a bit uncalled for, but thanks, Srinath. By the way, I feel really bad that, like, my streaming production quality was worse than Keti's, that I knew, but now it's even worse than yours, and I can't digest that fact. It's bothering me way too much.
I know, Vidit, I know, but we all have to accept these things, we have to accept such changes because there's no way to overcome it.
It's very hard. It's very hard. I have to really, push my limits, and yeah, I cannot express my sorrow enough.
Oh no. Vidit, congrats on the great performance at online chess Olympiad. Are you satisfied with the final result for Team India?
No, and also I don't think it was a great performance.
So it was not bad. Come on, I think it was just unlucky, right?
Yeah, it was not bad, but I wouldn't say it was great, right? Like, I think many things could have gone better, especially sure.
I think great is like the last word that would come to my mind.
Oh.
Especially considering the end.
I think after this, Katie is never going to congratulate us. She'll be like, these guys, they can't even take a compliment. Let it
yesterday there was this one guy who was repeatedly spamming congratulations with it for your great performance in the online Olympiad. But it was sarcasm, and he really wanted to troll with it.
No, it was not sarcasm from my side. I was observing the games. I was commentating the games, and it was really nice. But I think that you guys got in semi-finals. You guys got the toughest opponent, so it was hard,
I think that the first opponents were Russia.
Yeah.
But okay, sorry to keep contradicting you.
Okay.
So just to make Katie feel better, I would say one thing, that yesterday I asked Srinath, who is your favorite co-commentator, and he immediately said your name, Katie. So
we
are not there. Yeah. So you can forgive Srinath. Yeah. And he told that on my face when I was right here asking him this. So you know that it means something.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
So what is the matches like? I missed the first round. Prague won again.
Yeah.
Yes, Prague has done
6 out
Prague
of 6.
Prague is close to doing a Caruana. Yeah. Which is also a poll question, by the way, which you can also participate in. How long do you think Prague will endure the streak? 7 games, 8 games, or more than
I just click 8+. I don't think he will. I don't think he will, but I just it's pretty cool. It's not rare. It's very rare to see it. So wishful thinking there. I just put 8+. Let's see.
True. Meanwhile, guys, let's welcome Vidit to the stream by liking the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And
how is that welcoming me? That is welcoming Chess 24 India. That's not
So
welcoming
more
me.
people come in and spam hearts with it.
We're not starting wild tree. Like he joined and I congratulated on on bronze medal. He's not happy now. You are welcoming him.
I am a very unhappy person, Keti.
He's not easy to satisfy. That is true, and even his friends know that.
Okay, we have to please him with somehow with position. What do you think here? Like black is 1 minute on, he has 1 minute extra on the clock. And what do you guys think about this pawn structure?
I think black is very comfortable, to say the least, because he has just completed his like development. Put pieces seem to be on normal squares. Now the question is, how do you play next? I would think of playing b5, b4. And the other idea is to play like d5, maybe to play a little bit in the center.
Mhm.
Or g6, f5, which is the most unlikely. Which one do you think Prague will go for?
I think b5, b4. Katie?
I think he will start with b5, b4, and then if white somehow stops, then that he can try the g6, f5 pawn break. But
Yeah,
also
starting with
d5
the-
looks quite nice, like just to break the pawn structure in the center.
He did go d5, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did go d5. Yeah, which I kind of felt a bit against, but now that I see it on the board, it makes sense to try and create more pressure against white center.
Yeah, d5 seems quite logical. Now the thing is, will he take on d5 or allow d4 to be played? So
If I was white, I would allow d4.
And then do what? Like, what would you play?
If black goes d4, then white tries to get in f4. But the question is, what useful move you make right now? Yeah.
No, but I don't think like even you get f4 because the bishop on f6, that battery will put pressure on c3.
No, d4. I'll start with c4.
And then it's a
then
very
go knight e1 and
comfortable
f4.
King's Indian for black, I feel.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, it's a position. Yeah.
In my opinion, he should take on d5. Let's see what Indian
Right.
says. I'm curious.
Katie, what do you think?
I think here just to play knight d2 and or knight d1 to allow d4 and then to push f4 would be
Okay.
my choice here.
That's 2 against 1. So Vidit tries to get stockfish.
Okay, we
Stockfish.
didn't welcome him properly
Stockfish.
now. We're
Stockfish.
counting. The thing is,
Chad,
like,
what do you think? E into d5 or no e into d5?
I think they're watching us to give the answer. So,
Well, we gave our opinions. We are divided, and when we are divided, chat is basically like the public. Yeah, the public decides everything.
that's what they think they do in a democracy. They think that they have rights, but actually, that's what the government makes you believe, that you have the power.
Yeah, but out here in Chess 24 India, they really do, and that's the only reason why 1b3 is popular only in this channel.
You just ruined my mood by saying 1b3, but okay.
You guys, I have suggestion to get into the nice game.
Yes, please.
That's Mamazada and Aditya.
Aditya.
Aditya, yeah.
Aditya. Yeah, this looks very interesting. I think it comes from Sicilian with g4 or not. Oh no.
Yes, it did. It did come from the Knight of Sicilian, the English attack. But here, first of all, black started with bishop e7. Normally, they start with bishop e6. They do play bishop e7 as well, but not as much. And now rook g1 with the idea of g4 without f3. And this is how the position started. And we have this live position here. Meanwhile, just to give you an update, Murjin did not take a into d5. He played knight g5.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I thought like just take on g5, bishop g5, and of course to show the audience we cannot take on g5. I mean we can, but ed5 leads to some very comfortable
Nice
position
position
for
for the
white.
bishop.
So after bishop g5, f6 will be played or queen d7, either of these moves, to ignore it completely, like how we ignore Srinath in streams.
I so saw that coming. Yeah, queen d7.
Why not f6 here?
F6 is also an option. Yeah.
Actually, Keti ignored us.
Yes, Keti ignored the joke. Yes.
No, I didn't
And,
know it, sorry.
Okay,
and she
Keti.
does that for all the bad jokes.
Keti, what did we say?
Which is why AD is ignored all the time.
No, I was thinking about this position, so guys, it suited my
We caught
brain.
Keti.
But yeah, I mean, we can conclude that this is a comfortable position for black. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give this update while we move on to the two night off games. We had a brief look at the Aditya Mittal Gunai game, but the game of Leon Mendonca against Christopher Yu, who is actually in the second place, just trailing Prague, is also quite interesting, emerging from the knight of opening, but knight of 6 h4, e5, knight f5, takes. So you get the d5 square, of course. You put the pawn on d5. Bishop g5 attacking the d5 pawn, bishop b4 defending the d5 pawn with a pin, queen f3, knight bd7, enforcing the d5 square, bishop e2, rook c8, short castle, and now takes. And I think black is a bit better here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it's very strange how white played. He mixed all three systems in one. Like they do go knight f5, but not after h4 is what I know. And then this queen landed on f3, which looked a bit funny, and he allowed this doubling of c3 pawn, c3, c2. I don't know, it feels like a sandwich gone wrong completely with all the wrong ingredients.
It's not
black
Joey's
has
sandwich for sure.
Yeah, like black has a very nice position, like the pawns on d5, e5. As long as they are like, we can maintain that, he will be good. Because if you play a move like d4, then the e4 square becomes weak. If you play e4, the d4 square becomes weak. So if he can maintain that and put pressure on c3, I like his move queen c7. Not sure if it's the best move, but it looks very sensible.
Right. So how would white? Yeah. Sorry, Keti.
Yeah, I was thinking about rook b1, like to start counterplay, and if you push your pawn b5, then I can start with a4. And your king is still in the center, and any open of the files and diagonals is good for white.
Yes, but I can maybe just take this and maybe not play b5 in the first place. Yeah, maybe just start with short castle.
Guys, every time Srinath says maybe, have a shot. maybe b5. No, maybe a4, maybe castle.
And c4 here, Sri?
Yeah, c4 here and maybe e4 now.
Come on, we did just said that e4 d4 is bad because it causes weaknesses. I thought
But
you would
maybe
not push
it is
that.
not always right.
Queen b3. Yeah. I'm on team Keti here. Queen b3. Let's outplay Srinath move by move.
You can try.
I even like queen g3 to force some trades, and then b7 is also hanging.
Why do you always get outnumbered everywhere? Yeah, Vidit, you're saying?
No, this. Okay, actually, this happened in the game.
Rook b1 and h6. Keti is
but
clearly
now,
better at predicting the grandmaster moves than me.
So I guess takes c4. Like white has to solve this problem. Yeah. Now you have to play e4, I suppose.
4, queen b3.
Isn't like white doing okay?
White seems to be not worse, but I still like this with black. Yeah, maybe just castle.
Queen b7
and queen e5.
You're giving up a pawn, right?
I like all these.
Queen a6. Rook b5. Or wait,
Vidit is clearly
I
not
could,
pleased.
I could play queen b5.
You
I
could.
just want to.
You could play.
No, rook c5 is there.
Yeah. It's a bad position for white, no? You lose, I mean, all the weaknesses all around.
No, I don't know if it's bad.
Maybe I shouldn't be so lax with all those pawns, but it still feels nice for black.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go.
What is he thinking? Is he thinking of moving the bishop back to d2 or something? That looks strange. Yeah, this definitely bishop on d2 seems very strange, no?
Or maybe he's thinking what he wants to do after takes.
Okay, who will count in the chat how many times she will say maybe? Can you please somebody do that?
Maybe someone will. Who knows? Maybe. What is happening in Prague game?
The Prague game, Prague seems to have got a very nice position. We last left at this point. F6, bishop e3, and now d4. He kind of invited d4. He was like, come with me. Bishop d2. I don't know why he did that though. b5, rook f c1, and now queen d6.
Yeah, black has a fantastic position. For sure. Not maybe. For sure, it's a good position. Like
some things in life is not just maybe.
Yeah, this one you can be sure about. Like black just expands on the queen side, whereas white's play has not even started. Like he just put rook f1 to c1, so f4 and all. I don't see what he can do. Maybe what black wants is to play rook d8 here, so that he will play dc, or otherwise just expand on the queen side with a5, c4, b4, and black's play is very clear cut, and white's moves I don't see.
Yeah, and Murshin clearly seems to be struggling. He has only a minute left, and Prague has like four minute advantage, and Murshin doesn't seem to. Yeah,
I think we should cover the other games and then come back to this because time pressure is approaching soon, so it will be fun.
True. The Vaishali game looks very bad for Vaishali. She hasn't developed her queenside pieces at all, so she's literally playing with only the queen and the knight.
Yeah,
and,
this looks awful. How did this happen? This looks really bad.
She played one of these openings which AD played
inspired by Adiban. Oh no. Oh no. This is why you should not play bad openings. I told you, bad openings are like junk food. Only on occasions you can do it, but
AD has single-handedly inspired a bunch of bad openings across a generation, while we do our best to show them cultured openings.
So now knight f7 or queen h5. I mean, so many options. I don't know which one to pick even.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of question where I would so happily tag Keti to finish off the game. She would be completely safe to attack and find a mate. Although today she has been in the mood to just win pawns rather than going for mate.
No, I think she will play queen h5 here, I feel.
Yeah, queen h5 for sure.
Yeah, which is also what Sokolowski did.
Yeah, also you can bring the rook on f1. That's quite dangerous.
Queen is getting trapped. Yeah.
This looks awful. I think we can move to the other game because this is just
a bad start for Vaishali to her day 2. The other game between Gunay Mamadzada and Aditya Mittal, it seems pretty equal to me.
Yeah, this will end in a draw, I feel, a4 or something. And just all exchanges. Okay, rook d4 played, but doesn't matter. It should end in a draw.
Yeah, and maybe move on.
Yes.
To the Leon game, which is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, this is a very interesting game. We can stick with. He went bishop to c1. Wow.
Oh, okay. He wanted the dark square domination, but Leon castled, and now c4 and e4. And where does the queen go? h3.
What's that?
Just-
G4, G5 move or why on H3?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
just take
exactly.
the pawn. I just take the pawn on c4. Then knight comes to d5. And knight comes to f4 and stuff. Yeah. I don't know if immediately or not, but yeah.
Yeah, this feels like one of those attacks where it's a kamikaze attack. Yeah, you just drive right in with all the explosives without really
Yeah.
preparing for it.
Looks like Leon is doing very, very good in this game. I expect
So
him
when
to.
Leon started out in this tournament, his first tournament, he was really struggling with his time management. He would get low on time in every game, and then he would mess up something. He would just blender something. But I think after having played 2 or 3 tournaments at this level, he has gotten a lot more comfortable with it. Now his time management, he doesn't get low on time as frequently. And even when he gets low on time, he handles it much better. But let's see if he's able to keep up with it. H5 played by him.
H5. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't. That move didn't cross my mind at all. Like, the idea is clear that to stop g4. That's a clear idea. And it's actually, now more I look at it, I don't think it's that bad. Because if you take on d5, queen c2, I thought rook b2 white can go. But takes
actually, even queen into c1 is interesting here,
No, Srinath. Black is trying to win.
Yes. So what do you play here?
Yeah. 95, f3.
Can I play
Queen
e3?
g3. Can we rename the stream Outplaying Srinath rather than
if it happens?
Yeah, but H. Maybe he just wants to take back on d5. Could be, instead of all these complications. I don't know. I would have simply.
No, but then you lose a h5 pawn, no?
Yeah. So I thought knight f6 after bishop h5, and then knight comes to c3.
Right.
Bishop d1. That is just sad.
Well, if it keeps a pawn, it keeps a pawn. Yeah, this is one way. What do you think, Keti? What do you think is the direction the game is likely to follow?
Yeah, this is getting really complicated. I don't know which side I like more. Like, there's some ideas for both sides.
That sounds like your b3 Catalan dilemma. But you have to choose. Yeah, you have to. He takes queen into c2. Rook b2. Now do we see queen into c1?
I don't think so. Leon is the type of player who would play queen c1.
But what's the idea? Like after king h2?
Queen c7. Queen c7 played.
Wait. You guys would capture this bishop?
Not you guys.
I wouldn't mind. Chad, what do you think? Is queen into c1 a good move?
It was not.
And by chat, I probably mean Stockfish.
I'm sure Stockfish didn't want queen c1. Pretty sure about that.
Yeah, you would know all about the greedy Stockfish.
You see h5, the move which Leon made, h5, I feel it kind of gave play to Christopher Yu. And now it's not so clear as it was. d6, maybe queen a5, yeah. Okay, still black is better. I would still prefer black, right?
Yes, but not Stockfish. Stockfish is slowly starting to inch towards white.
Rook b2 played b5, push the pawn. Did you make this move or it's live board?
I made this move. The live board is in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, b5 played, and I was anticipating rook d1, but I'm not sure if Christopher. But what else would you play? I mean, how do you?
Yeah,
bishop
rook d1. Rook d1 makes sense. Yes. Bishop d2 kind of helps, yeah, queen b6. My theory is in time pressure, you should play non-forcing moves. Because then your opponent has to think more. Like bishop d2, attack queen, I move my queen. Yeah, very simple.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, one is you play non-forcing moves, the other is you just put your pieces in good squares, yeah. General control.
Oh, king f8 doesn't look right.
Why he wanted to play against bishop h6, yeah? He just reflexively went.
Yeah. I thought rook to c3 made more sense, but okay. Let's
Leon
follow. It's
does
very
get
hard to
scared.
analyze.
Is white's idea now to capture h5, or why this is so good for white?
Yeah, I think just take on h5, right? Yeah. Just collect the pawn.
Greedy style.
Knight h7, queen f5.
Knight h7, queen g3.
Oh, queen c3 played, and rook b3, rook g3 incoming, and resignation incoming. So I'm sorry, I apologize for jinxing Leon's time management, but that was really not impressive play with 10 seconds. It's tough, but these kids are remarkably good in general, so it really sets a very high benchmark.
True.
And
I didn't like this move h5, which he played.
It causes so much weaknesses, right?
Yeah, he just had to take on c4. It looked scary, this g4, g5, but after knight d5, knight f4, I don't think he's risking anything.
He can maybe play h5 now if he was so scared, just to not open any files.
I'm not sure. I would play knight f4. It feels
yeah, I'm just saying, if you don't want to open any files or allow some rook into b7 or f6.
Okay, I think, but there are still some live games going on. Yeah, we should check.
Yeah. True.
Prague won another
Prague
game.
has just won his game against
7 out of 7.
Yeah, we expected it. He was just cruising in this game, very smooth.
Oh, and this is impressive. This is a lot.
7 out of 7 is very nice indeed. I agree.
And his next opponents are very low rated than he is. So
who are his opponents?
Next opponent is Olivia, and next is Gunay. They are like
9 out of 9. It could be a possibility, yeah.
Absolutely. But Christopher Yu with 5.5 out of 6. And Vincent Kamer also seems to be completely winning against Abhimanyu Mishra. He's up by an exchange. And his king is also relatively safer. And now rook f7 incoming.
Yeah.
So Vincent pursuing Prague very closely with 5 out of 6 and Christopher Yu with 5.5 out of 6. What a ridiculously high scoring tournament. Yeah, it's not easy to win this tournament. You have to score like really, really high.
Wait, isn't this the 7th round?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but since there is an odd number of players, one player gets a bye every round. So Vincent, Christopher Yu, and Vaishali, they only played 6 games.
Okay, got it. So this seems like a draw repetition, like you go to defend the pawn on e4, white plays a check, and then the story repeats.
Right. Life is a cycle.
Chad is saying Prague OP. Definitely, it's a very nice run. I think it feels amazing when you feel like a boss, winning all the games, no hurdles.
Yeah. It's such a nice feeling. You're in a zone, you just win one game after another game, and it all adds up. And then suddenly you realize you have won so many games in a row. These things are never planned. Yeah. I mean, it's never like, it's never something like you think, oh, I'm going to win so many games, and it happens. Yeah. It just happens in a flow. It just comes when you take it one game at a time.
Yeah, I won Georgian championship with 9 out of 9. 9 out of 9 at some age category. I don't remember exactly. And at some point, I just lost any fear. Like I was sure that I was winning, and the opponents were hated me because they thought I was very greedy. And when they were offering me draw, like why would I agree like on the moves 2 or 10? Why would I agree on a draw? I wanted to play. And then later I just heard that they were very much upset that because of that loss, they lost chances to get in top 3 and they lost some medals. But come on, how can you be upset on your opponent if opponent wants to play?
What was your longest streak with it?
No, I was just checking this game, by the way, of Aditya before I answer that. Like, Aditya kind of was trying to trick with this rook exchange. And Gunay, she seems quite sharp, like she was avoiding it, because this, when you have two outside pass pawns, it's difficult to achieve that. I think she defended quite well in time pressure, so credit to her. She's playing quite well actually. But Aditya also is putting pressure, so I don't know if he can win. It's very tough. Objectively, it's a draw, but he's at least trying. So that's
Yeah, one thing I noticed with Aditya is he plays the game right to the end, no matter what. No matter what the situation is.
Right. I think Rook F7 now should make the draw and exchange everything. Yep. Rook E4, Rook H7.
Can we play H5?
Yeah, I think. But then I give a check.
That comes with a check.
Yeah, you move your king. And then you think you can take this pawn, but I attack both the pawns again. So finally everything gets traded and all fall down.
I think Vaishali must have lost as well, right?
Oh yeah, that game was very well played by the opponent.
But I'm curious to know who has been the best performing girl player in these tournaments so far.
Leighton.
But is she a junior?
Yeah, I was shocked to hear about that she's junior. I thought she was older than me.
What?
Yeah, I was so sure about that. I was doing some commentary. I was like, yeah, she's probably older than me. And then they said, no, she's not older than you. No, you are older than her.
She's not a junior, actually. She's 24 years old.
Yeah, she's not a junior.
But quite young, right?
She's not even older than me.
What? Not older than me? She's 24 years old.
Yeah, I'm saying she's not even older than me. Let alone Keti.
Okay, we want her to be older than us, but okay.
Okay. Sorry.
That's true.
I zoned out.
But there are some players that you think that they are older. Like, for instance, Vincent, he's playing so much chess at this level. And Esipienko, he's playing so much. You cannot believe that Esipienko is still junior, right?
Yeah, he's 19 or 20 something.
Yeah.
They get good very quick.
Being 19. I get hugely divisive opinions on what age I look like. There are some people who think I look 35, and then there are some people who think I look 21. So, Chad, what do you think? What do you think my
they know.
Appearance ages?
They know. By the way, you should not fall for Rook C6 here. That's the only trick. But even this draws, yeah. If you play King G3, but if the king was on G4, it would not.
Then it would.
Yeah,
the Hawk also thinks I'm 35. Thank you, Hawk. Shockwave 35.
The most important is how old you feel you are.
Oh my God.
You expected a straight answer from the chat when you asked the age.
Not to this chat. 58, 120.
The answers don't make
85. Oh my God.
I do feel, by the way, that the older we get, we change a lot as a person. Like, I was completely different when I was, let's say, 20 or when I was 23, and now how I am. Like, so many things change. And
in which sense?
There are, like, I feel in my early 18, let's say 18 to 22, this period, I would easily be able to stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning and then have the next day like nothing has happened. Like, just like pretend that it was just normal, have coffee, and my body would just sail through the next day. But now I feel like I like the little things. Like, I like a good sleep. a good conversation with friends. It's not always a party or a club or something, so many things.
The age already hit it you. Vidit. Welcome to the club.
Am I alone? Please tell me I'm not alone in this.
I still have to stay up till 3 or 4 a lot of the days because I have to do all 9 days of CCT with it.
Oh no, but I mean, like,
and that he's still young, and that's what he meant.
No, it's
I wish.
I meant by choice.
Yeah.
By choice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and the
by
next day
choice,
you wouldn't
yeah.
feel anything. That's the main thing. Now you would feel it after the tournament or once it's done. But when you're 20s, it's like,
True.
I have the fountain of youth. I can do anything I want. But that's very limited. Actually, I had a question.
True.
How much would you trade to be back in your 20? Like, let's say you're 18 again. How much would you give up to become 18 again? I'm
Like,
asking
what would you give
guys.
up? Yeah.
Yeah. Would you give
Come
up
on,
everything?
guys. Like at the age of 18, you are still studying. You have exams every next week. You don't have pocket money. You ask for your parents. You cannot travel by yourself. You have some permissions. And you don't have a work. Like how 18 can be best age?
True. Okay.
I would give up a lot to be 8. 8
is different,
yes.
but 18 is like, you're in middle with a lot of troubles.
If I was 8 and I could train myself, I think I would have a very good shot at having become a good chess player.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true.
A better chess player.
But you guys, what I realized is that the older you're getting, you look better. Like when you're young, you look so bad. You're trying so many things. And it's like older you're getting, you're finding your style in many ways. And you're
now
more
I know
like
why
relaxed.
you didn't talk to me during the World Youth, Keti.
What? What?
Now I know why we didn't talk much when we were younger.
No, I mean, like when you are younger, you want to try many things, right?
Right.
Yeah. For instance, myself, I had pink hair. I would not do it now, but back then I wanted to have it. And like older I'm getting, I feel more satisfied with everything. You guys don't
I
think
hope that's
so?
not a short.
No, I agree. Like you are exploring, like it's so much curiosity when you're young and you feel like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like there are so many things I want to try out. And there's always, I think FOMO is highest when you're younger. Like that time you have the fear, oh, I'm not part of this group or I'm not doing that. So I agree with you. Definitely. We explore more when we are younger. Later on, it's more about cutting down on things. Like, there's less time actually.
Yeah.
Right. True that. I don't know about looks, but certainly my chess has become better with age.
Agree to disagree.
You're underestimating how bad I used to be in my earlier years.
I'm understanding how good you are now. So
well, that too.
We saw your Bermuda party moves.
Oh yeah,
For who?
Vidit's dance was
Vidit?
They put the worst. They put the worst clip of the Bermuda party in that moment.
Vidit was just grooving to the music, and the clip is on the internet now, so it can never be taken off.
Oh my god, yes. I mean,
talking about things that can never be taken off, we were talking about the earring story in the online Olympiad as well. Keti?
I was telling what stories?
We were talking about the earring story.
Yeah. You told me about that. Oh my god.
We were just remembering.
I don't know how it go like when I was not there, because I don't know how AD presented it, but Sagar was there, right? He witnessed everything.
Yes, he was also there.
Okay. Yeah.
I still don't know the earring story. I want to know, but I know you guys won't tell me, so I'll give up on asking on that. You just told
Reverse
me that.
psychology.
No, you said you will tell me privately, but I didn't get to know that as well. You know.
Well, privately, you're okay. I'm not
No,
going to complete that sentence.
Sri, like if wait. Vidit, is anyone really getting married?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, then this topic should be closed.
Or maybe I won't complete that.
Okay. Like you
He
had
just
some
likes
bad
to say
ideas.
maybe. He just likes to say maybe. That's all.
No, he had some ideas in his head and he realized it was too crucial, so he stopped it.
So Chirantan is asking what is Prague's streak now? He's 7 out of 7, if I'm not wrong. And the closest person is Kamer, who is it's Christopher Yu, yeah?
Yeah.
He's on
Yes.
5.5 out of 6 because he got a bye. So he has to still win one more game and still he will not be leveling Prague's score. So that's the standing. Like, I don't know. Can you show the standings on the stream, by the way? Oh, it's
it is there on the screen. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So
Prague
Liang
with
actually had a good chance. If he had won the last game, he would be 5.5 out of 7. But yeah, okay, he has played 7 games.
He lost against who? Christopher Yu.
Christopher and 8.
I'm actually surprised by Liang Awonder's performance. Usually he's much stronger. He has scored only 3.5 points out of 7. I expected him to be, one of the chasing in the chasing pack, but from the standings list, I feel only 2 people can catch him. It's either Kamer or Christopher Yu, and I feel Kamer is the much more likelier, yeah. So I think Prague against Kamer could be the tournament fight.
Yeah, Liang has always been a blow hot, blow cold kind of player. Sometimes he has this ridiculously good winning streaks, and then sometimes he just has these bad days. It's something I've noticed as well previously. So sometimes he scores like 2 out of 5. Next day he comes and beats all these strong guys and gets 5 out of 5.
There are how many rounds left?
So it's 16 rounds in total. So for some, there are 9 rounds left, and for some, there are 10 rounds left.
Gotcha.
For the broadcast, there is 10 more games, 10 more rounds.
And 2 more games today.
Yes, 2 more games today.
And Prague plays one of the lowest rated players in the field, yeah, now.
So he's very playing against girls now. First is Olivia and second is Gunai. But we have seen Gunai's really good technique in the how she's defending. And I think she also had some troubles in the opening and middle game, and she handled it quite well.
I don't know much about Olivia. Do you know Keti?
Yeah, I know her. And she started to shine this year at European Championship. Individual championship, she got top 3 and she qualified to World Cup, but for now, as I know, she's not a member of national team, and yeah, she was quite a sensation for everyone in Poland with this performance.
Okay, and she's a junior, I suppose.
She's 21 years old.
21. Okay, got it.
Meanwhile, the round 3 in Sharjah Masters is over. A quick update on the Indian results. Arjun Erigaisi drew against Mikhail Mikhailishvili. SL Narayanan, who is not me, he's a different player.
You guys, can you pronounce Chedlishvili?
Chedlishvili.
Good.
Is the M silent?
No, nothing is silent in Georgia.
Oh,
so it's what? Chedlishvili? Mechedlishvili. Gotcha. SL Narayanan, who's not me, he's a different player. He defeated Ilmaz Mustafa. Adiban drew against Mastro Vasilis with black, and Abhijit Gupta defeated Nodibek Abdusatru, who would have been playing here if he was not playing in the Sharjah Masters. And Ganguly also won his game against El Adnani, but Sethuraman lost with white against Alavi Syed, who is about 200 points rated below him in an upset result. So these are the Indian results in Sharjah Masters, while the next round is set to begin in just about a minute. Oh yeah, Ronak drew against Juma Baer. I missed that.
Got it.
Yeah, not so bad, right?
But I wanted to ask Keti the question I asked yesterday to Srinath. So in Champions Chess Tour, the time control is 15 plus 10. And in Olympiad, it was 15 plus 5. And here in this Challengers Tour, we see 10 plus 5. So which time control you think as a spectator would be the most interesting to watch? Like considering all the factors like the game quality, let's say like how many hours you can watch and how many games should be played in a day, stuff like this.
Yeah, I think 15 plus 5 is very good because they have enough time to plan the whole game, and we also have enough time to get to check all the games. And when it comes to the time pressure, it's not like 15 plus 10. When you have 10 seconds increment, when you pre-move some like at least 3-4 moves, you get a lot of time. And when it's only 5 seconds increment, it's not that much time, and still there's a pressure. And for spectators, this is also of course good to see that when there's a time pressure, like crazy things are happening. And 15 plus 5 is, I think, is a good mix of both things, like serious chess and good quality chess, and also some fun in the end.
I guess. And I think 3 rounds per day is good enough, right? Or 5 is a bit too much.
Guys, by the way, do you mind if I move on from Prague's game?
Is it Catalan there or what?
No, it's some B3.
You found some Catalan game?
No, it's B3 in Prague's game, like second row B3.
Yeah, let's come back after the opening ends. Yeah.
He'll come back.
Let's look at Liang against Vincent Kiemer. Let's look at what Prague's competitor is doing.
Let's not be biased, Srinath. Let's not bring our biases into the stream. By the way, this line is very interesting because Black plays with an isolated pawn on d5, and in return he gets a lot of initiative. So a typical move here is knight f3 with the threat of capturing on d5. So Black plays the move bishop g4, indirectly defending on d5. So you can show the chat, Srinath, what's the point, of course. Bishop h2, and then you lose the queen.
I'm not going to ask the chat because I know who will answer if I do.
Right. So queen b3 is played, which is a novelty, or I think only one game has been played. And it's not a bad move, actually. It's the same idea of attacking on d5, but now you avoid this bishop g4 stuff. So I'm very curious to know if Vincent knows about this move, because it might be slightly unpleasant to face over the board right away. So good opening choice by Liang so far. That's my opinion.
And what should Black play here? What is the move?
I think you can play move like a6, I think is one of the moves to counter attack. And after bishop e2, you can either castle, give the pawn, or play a move like knight a5.
Guys, meanwhile, there's some exciting action happening in the Aditya Mittal Christopher Yu game. Also one of the pursuers. Christopher Yu seemed to have played a non-standard opening. And
wait, is
here
he
at
lost?
This point,
oh no,
he's not lost, but there is certainly something. Knight into d5, queen a4, queen d7, and he took the knight into d5. I thought he took a pawn. But yeah, knight into d5, queen into d5, e4.
Now only move I think is queen f5 check, because if you go back with the queen, bishop b5 is deadly, and then d5 on the next move. So only move is queen a5, right?
Yeah, only move is queen a5.
Yeah, I don't like his opening choice of Christopher Yu.
The accelerated Queen's Indian, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's the guy who plays a lot of speed chess online. From what I remember, he's very good at solving puzzles and stuff. Yeah. Now I
Yes, yes,
remember.
yes, 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 yes.
But Aditya has a fantastic position right out of the opening. The knight is very awkward. Now he'll take with the knight on a5, and now a move like bishop d2, for example, just like rook c1. Next move, attack the pawn on c7. The knight is awkwardly placed. Yeah, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
True. Dream
Everybody
portion out of the opening
wants.
there for Aditya.
Everyone in chat wants Prague game, Srinath. So we have to ignore or overrule you.
Or we could do that to the chat.
No, 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 no. Cancel
No, no,
Srinath
no.
for saying this.
Oh, please. The chat deserves it for all the poll answers that they give.
Attacking the chat, Srinath. Wow, very gutsy.
I speak the truth, no matter what the situation is.
So now, one of the ideas for black is to play queen e7 or bishop d6. As I think queen e7 is a better move.
But I'm not really sure if. Well, first of all, maybe take c into d4 first before bishop
Yeah,
d6.
yeah. She wasted
You
her
know,
tempo.
yeah. So bishop d6, allowing d into c5, bishop into c5, and now after a3, I'm not entirely sure about a5. Maybe a6 was better.
What I've noticed, by the way, is that with white pieces, Prague is going for this knight f3 systems, just trying to get a game. He's not challenging them in opening theory at all, if you notice, with white especially. Which
Yeah,
is an interesting strategy because it shows that he believes that he can just outplay by getting a game. Um, and he has been
yeah.
doing
There
that
are I think two
consistently.
factors associated with this. Firstly, these kind of setups, not your mainstream mainline setups. Usually, black players at a lower level, they tend to not know it as well as the main lines, as their main lines against d4 and e4. And
Oh,
second thing, these are their go-to openings, having played a lot of blitz games in such setups because the setup is easy to play. uh, these kids can play these openings without a lot of effort. This opening, the London system, they can just go and play it without having to
but
prepare much.
by the way, c4 is a move I don't like at all because it cuts the bishop's path back, and now knight a7 can be annoying to face.
Oh yeah, knight a7, and chess 24 is quick to cancel me. Thank you so much, chess 24 India. Thank you.
I'll vote not to.
So happy.
So instead of c4, I expected white to keep that bishop on d3 and like play queen e2 or something. Bishop c7 is not the way at all. Oh, I don't like this move. It's too slow. It's not in the spirit. Like the queen will not do anything when it comes to d6. So yeah, I don't like the hand how black is handled at all. You can either take on d5, you can play rook c1. You're spoiled for choice here. I
Right.
think Prague, now that he has played c4, he might just continue with rook c1. Otherwise, I think objectively takes on d5 is a better move. And then you have like rook c1, queen e2. The rooks come to the center.
Queen 3.
Yeah, very comfortable, right?
But how about queen h5, e5, and this kind of attack on the king side?
Keti is aggressive, is what I've noticed. She likes to give checkmate.
Yeah,
but now I
she
can
does.
just move the rook.
Well, one time opportunity.
No, she knows how to play against you.
Rook fc1. I was thinking. Yeah, but I agree. It's slightly annoying that the queen is on h5.
Yeah, if only I could get rid of this bishop.
Maybe starting with rook c1 there in that position.
Yeah. Now that she didn't play knight a7
Yeah.
in the first chance, you can like little bit gamble that she will not do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bishop c7 is such a strange move. Don't like it. Maybe we can check some other game while this Prague is thinking here.
Yeah, we haven't checked Vaishali's game in this round. Who is she? She's playing against Lei Tingi, and she really likes this non-standard opening setups. Yeah,
Oh, Vaishali.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She likes to do stuff like d4, d5, knight c3, the Vereso, the London, the
Mm-hmm.
Jobava London,
Mm-hmm.
and with this f3, g4, h4,
Mm-hmm. Got it.
and she seems to like to get these uncompromising positions.
But I don't think she has achieved much here because I feel black's position is quite okay. It's very like exchange Slav vibe.
Yeah, bishop g4 variation, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I feel like with this weak king, white usually in like a rapid game can get into danger. It's much easier to play with black, at least that's my first opinion.
So what would you play? Wait,
Knight c5.
I didn't make the moves. Yeah, knight b6, knight a4, knight c4, and this knight came to d6.
Yeah,
Knight
here
c5,
the
now queen
by the way,
e7.
here you can ask the chat instead of queen, why black played queen e7, what is white's threat here?
Yeah, what if black had played a move like rook h7, for example, give just to give you context? White to play, and what would you do?
You played like worst move here. Like anything can be good, Sri. Come on.
Yes, but there is one particular move which SAS has found.
He is Keti, he is what to say, forced by his habits of playing bad moves. He cannot stop himself.
Like you can make a random move to show like the idea, but rook h7 is such a bad move.
Last month when I was commentating with Vidit, he would suggest stuff like this, and then I would automatically play a good move which would nullify the threat. And so for this reason, I try to be really sure that it didn't happen this time.
Yeah,
that I
but
didn't
you're
play some
giving with
queen
that
d6.
move some other options to chat to find better
So
moves.
Bad thing, no? Giving chat options.
most of the chat found it. The idea was knight takes b7 and then rook takes c6, you would lose a pawn. So that's why queen e7, protecting the pawn on b7, and Vaishali has gone for g5, breaking through. I like how things are turning out now. Very complex. Can you show the live board, Srinath? Like live position?
Yeah, 1 second. Something very funny happened. I'll tell you later about it off stream.
Okay, now I'm curious. What happened? Did I do something?
No, it's not related to you. It's me.
Okay.
It's not you, it's me.
Okay. Srinath, does it remind you of something?
I saw that coming. I saw that coming. I literally gave it to you.
By the g5 is very nice by Vaishali because g6 is a very strong threat, undermining the pawn on f7 and e6. So black has to, I think, take on h1 maybe right now.
Yeah, but then rook h8 is still the threat, right?
Yeah, rook
Take on what?
Take h1.
And then queen h1. Yeah, it's very annoying.
Yeah,
Actually,
queen. Yeah, it's queen h8 is still a threat. With the
How
same
does-
idea, like you can trade the queens and then take on b7 and win a pawn.
yes. How does black even play here actually? Srinath is so distracted.
Yeah.
Don't castle?
He's not even making
Oh,
Srinath, that's not how commentary works. That you go away and then you suddenly come and say, "Oh, what a position! What a tactic." What do you think? That's
why
not how it
not?
works.
Why not?
Knight a6. Now queen takes g5. What is happening? It's complete chaos. Like you,
Oh no.
what happened?
What a move.
Oh, I thought you were mimicking Srinath. Suddenly, oh
I also
no.
thought the same
Oh
thing,
wow.
you know.
But Queen G5 now, right?
Knight F5. I was thinking start with, okay, yeah, Queen G5, Knight B4.
Knight F or King D7. Yeah, you have to play. You have to like really play some very artificial moves. Yeah, I think yeah, you're right. This could be ugly, but okay, it's
Yeah. It's not the kind of question you would swipe right as black, but
So the threat is knight b4, right?
mm-hmm.
yes.
I suppose. Maybe what you can do
Which
is
is why
take
I was
on
trying
H1.
to, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And now play Knight F5
Knight
as you
F5.
wanted. Yeah.
Yeah,
With ideas like Queen A3, yeah. Mhm.
exactly. You're slow, but you get there with it.
Why is Katie laughing so much?
Yeah, that's what I'm also laughing at.
Knight
I mean,
to
I can
B4.
think of two possible reasons, but let's not get into that.
What? It's funny. I got it slowly. But this is currently the position. Oh, knight b4 is on the board.
Yeah, King D7, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, you gotta play King D7. And again takes Knight D3. Looks nice of a white. Rook G1 incoming.
Yeah.
So maybe you
So
give
why
the
is this
pawn
equal
on.
according to the bar?
No, maybe you don't play King D7. Maybe you play Knight F5 or something.
But then there is
Yeah, takes on C6, pawn takes, Rook C6, King D7.
Queen C1. The king just hides here, and there are no more checks.
Well, I think I could have gone Queen H4 rather than Queen to G3.
Right. And you
Knight
have some Queen
G3.
H7 check, yeah?
Yes, yes. And it's a draw actually. It's very nice draw. King D3, Queen H7. And now you cannot go to C file because the C rook on C6 is hanging. So you have to come back King D2 and Queen H2. And maybe we just played the stockfish line, or maybe we are just fools which are wrong on every move.
Maybe.
Oh, chat is asking, is the evaluation bar working? Actually, that's
It
a
is
good
working.
question.
It's exactly equal.
Yeah, maybe because of that line. Queen h4, Queen h7 check.
Oh, Katie was following.
Katie always follows.
I
You know,
kind
there
of
are these
feel that
people in
Vidit
the
started like open fight against me.
No, that's against Srinath, not against.
Vidit bullies everyone.
Okay.
His middle name is Bully. It's called as Vidit Bully Gujarati.
She did play Knight F5, by the way. She did play Knight F5. We might see the line
wow.
which we actually show, which we rarely do. You know, we rarely show a line which comes on the board, and we might see it. We rarely show lines at all, actually, on the stream.
Well, that's intentional. We don't want these long lines that's difficult
True.
for the viewers to follow.
That's true. I agree with you.
Yeah, and after rook takes c6 and king d7, seems like this is the only way, right? Queen c1. Otherwise, if rook retreats back, there is knight d4, right? Or check.
Yeah,
and then knight.
first check and then
First check, yeah. No, knight.
Oh, I think there is also Queen F4 instead of.
Oh, nice.
Srinath doesn't get it, of course. Look at him, so puzzled.
He did not get. Look at his face.
What? Queen H4 where?
Queen f4. Queen g3, Queen f4.
Ah, okay. Queen F4. I heard it as Queen H4.
And if somebody wants to make a mini clip of this, cut to the part where Srinath says, "As I'm getting older, I think my chess is improving."
Because
and then
black is not really winning anything. The knight is trapped. You have to look a bit deeper with it. It doesn't stop at the surface.
Knight F2, Rook H2, and then Rook A2, and then you're still better in this pawn endgame. Just saying, Rook endgame.
Yeah. It's still a bit better. But I mean, sure, make the mini clip, but send it to me. Don't send it to Vidit. Greedy is not just in chess. That's what I realized in this online Olympiad.
What's happening in other games? Prague, what's the situation in Prague's game? He must be clearly winning, I feel.
Yeah, Prague is certainly better, although it's not as clear as it looks.
And in Leon's game, can you just do a quick check on the games? Oh, Leon did win the pawn on d5. Black sacrificed.
But he's down to less than a minute again.
Oh, now, okay, we have to pick a game. We have very few games left. Chat, tell me which game you want to see.
Yeah, well, we have a quick look at Aditya's game while the chat decides. So they have a look at all the different games.
Yeah.
But Aditya seems to have a lot of time. And not really sure who's... Oh, what has he done to this a6 bishop? He's treating the a6 bishop like you treat me.
I guess bishop b7 you can go and rectify the
not exactly.
mistake. Okay, a lot of chat saying Prague, Leon. So it's basically Prague or Leon from what I see. Unless there is an update in Vaishali game. Oh, we have seen.
Oh yeah, I think we can. Yeah, the same.
Knight g3.
Will she find?
Okay, I think she will.
I think she will.
Yeah, so let's move to the other game. They also have a lot of time. So just to remind who have joined just now, the draw here is king d3, queen h7, and then king come to d2, queen h2, because the king cannot cross the c file. So this is the game. Let's move to other game.
Which other game?
Let's see Prague.
One where you can predict lines is what Chirag says.
This position is very good for white for obvious reason, like the pieces are better placed compared to blacks, right? And there are clear targets like b7 is weak, a5 is weak, e5 is weak, and his moves are like rook b1 next move. You can even play g4 so that blacks can never ever play f5 and slowly build up the pressure. So I think white is doing well here.
Yeah, especially when white has some clear plan and black can't really find any plan here. Like this f5 can be stopped first of all, and then even if you push e pawn farther, then the bishop from a1 will be just a monster. Like if you push any pawns, f4, e pawn, this bishop will be open.
Agree.
G4.
And g4 is on the board.
G4. I would have played rook b1. I would have waited with g4 a little bit, like just so that the queen cannot move at all and completely paralyzed. Actually, all the pieces are paralyzed. If you look at this position, oh no, the rook on c8 can move. Rook on c8 can move. That's the only piece.
Right.
So a couple of moves played in the game: g4, rook d8, and bishop c3. Prague is eyeing the a5 pawn. Logical.
Yeah, and g4 also created the g2 square for the king. Tanmay, the bar is not showing dead equal. Like for example, here you see a slight inching towards white.
By the way,
so
I feel here rook d1 is a bad move. I think what black had to do was very instructive. She had to play a4. The pawn was attacked, but give it like this. So the queen takes a4 and then e4. Suddenly all your pieces are active. Queen comes to h4. I think she missed this. This was her only chance. And now after rook d1, she's just losing a pawn.
So do you like just take this here? And then black lives with this sad bishop.
I guess so. But she's hoping on some counterplay like rook d1 and then with the queen to create some threat. Still not easy because there's
I think still it's not straightforward. But even taking this pawn seems a bit scary to me initially.
Prague took it.
Yeah, Prague's not scared easy.
Knight a5 is on the board.
The winner of this Hou Yifan challenge gets a spot in the next year's Champions Chess Tour.
Yeah, the first tournament of the next season of the Meltwater Champion Chess Tour.
So Prague seems to be doing well. Shall we move to other round, Leon's game?
Good idea. This is really
He's
in
better now.
n seconds territory. Yeah.
Yeah, he's better now. He's a pawn up. He should exchange this bishop. Bishop d3, I feel makes sense. Or rook c1. Rook c1. Oh,
Bishop f3 doesn't look nice, no?
No, rook c1 he had to play. Just put the bishop under pin, and then now bishop g4 is a very, very strong threat here. Yeah, he missed this chance. In time pressure, he's playing a little bit subpar moves. So in the
I think he's not as practiced in the online blitz as some of his other peers.
So even though white has this extra pawn on d4, it doesn't mean so much as he can't really use it. And f4, oh, that's also bad. And white has no advantage. Like look at the bishop on e3, just completely buried.
There is an extra pawn
breathing.
for white, right? Or
Sorry?
not?
Yes, there is an extra pawn for white. So you really know it's a bad position strategically for white if VD is so critical of it, despite the extra pawn.
Yeah, now rook comes to e4, I suppose, after rook c1. And then you take on f4. So you don't even have the extra pawn.
Yeah, it looks like white has to be the one to try and make a draw.
4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1.
b3 maybe?
Oh, he just played it 1 second,
come
king
on.
f3. He lost thread completely. King e7 now, yeah? Or king e7, king d6, yes.
Guys, can we play b3 here? If c takes b3, rook c7, rook b7. Some counterplay.
Oh, actually,
Rook
this is
b7.
nice. Like, let's say white mouse slips and plays rook f7. Now rook b4 wins.
By the
before
rook
b2
c3,
and you cannot catch the pawn.
I suggested rook b7, and how can rook slip on f7? It's really
Like you want to take the g7 pawn, but you put it on f7.
oh, by the way,
no,
Leon
we
just
wanted
lost
rook
a pawn.
b7. It happened. It happened in the game.
No, he played rook c3, rook b3, and he's just a pawn down. From a pawn up, he's now a pawn down. So he lost 2 pawns. Oh,
yeah.
He seems to be
and
struggling.
This is actually a
in time
very
pressure.
bad position.
No, this is just lost. This is just lost. It's not even bad.
It's one of those rook end games that's not drawn actually.
So there is in rook endgame, there's this rule which is very useful. Is like if you have an extra pawn, but your opponent has activity, it almost nullifies the extra pawn in rook end games. But here, black has the active rook, and he also has the extra pawn. So it's like equivalent to 2 pawns. So it's definitely winning for black. He can just play at his own pace here. King h6, push the pawns, king h5, and slowly win. Prague did win, chat is saying.
Wow.
As
it's
expected.
8 out of 8.
8 out of 8, indeed. Very smooth.
Oh yeah, you didn't answer that question, Vidit. What is your longest streak?
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't had a streak in a long time. So it's only in childhood.
It can be from your childhood.
Yeah, in childhood, I've scored 11 out of 11.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Good days. That's why I want to be 18 again.
8. It happened when you're 8, not when you're 18.
That's true.
When you're 18, it was already hard to win.
That's true. Rookie for
18 is not such a great age, yeah. Either you're a child or you're an adult.
Yeah. That's what I meant. 18 is not the best one.
Yeah.
But it seems like his technique is a bit shaky, or he's not sure what to do. He's just playing around.
He's just gaining time.
He's gaining time. Yeah, makes sense. Nothing has been lost. Rook a4 now, rook d3 come back. How do you make progress? I feel he should put the king on e5 and then push the pawn g5
check, then
king
you
f7.
just go back.
Yeah. And then king e6, bring the king to e5, and then push g5, h5, g4, and bring the king to e4.
I think what he's going to do is going to put his pawn on h4 first, and then probably do the same.
Do the same. Yeah.
Or maybe he goes with the king to h5 and gets the pawn to g5, g4. I think either way wins. Let's see if it's king h5 or king f6.
Yeah. King f7. By the way, what happened in Aditya's game?
So
Progress.
Leon seems to be losing here.
Oh,
Vincent
Aditya
probably
won.
going to win. Oh yeah, Aditya's won.
Oh,
Nice.
he had a good position from the opening, which we saw, and then probably he converted. Well, so he just lost a. Yeah, we said he had a very bad position. Maybe we stick with the game and then show it. We show the live
Yeah.
game, how, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
we
yeah,
can come
yeah.
back to this.
Where Leon seems to be fighting on. He's not in the mood to give it up so easy.
So is his idea G5, G4 to create the passer on H5?
Yeah. I don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, there's
Maybe-
also an interesting. Sorry, yeah, go on.
No, maybe G5, Rook C5. I was a little bit concerned. F4
This is a draw, yeah.
takes on F4.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
This is
Take it
Srinath in
back.
childhood, you know. Srinath in childhood used to make moves and with complete confidence. That was his trick.
That is what AD does in his adult, by the way, in his adulthood.
True.
Nice. That's nice resource, Rook C5.
Yeah, so that's why he
Ooh,
waited
now
with
Rook
King
B5
H6, yeah?
is impossible.
And then Rook B3, now G5.
But yeah, Rook B6, Rook F6 is not the same as G4 comes with a check.
Is this the only game going on? I suppose.
Yep, this is the only game going on. These kids are in a hurry today. They are finishing the games pretty fast, which is what happens as the tournament gets longer. The games get shorter.
True. So Rook C4 played. Yeah. Rook D8, now check. And you just take on H3 or... Yeah, I think many ways to win. Even Rook C3 should win, right? Attacking everything. No, but you take on H3. You don't... Oh,
I like G3.
Yeah, very clean move G3.
Yep.
Now Rook H2 is kind of a threat taking on H3. So White will give a check. King moves to F6 and now Rook H8. I think that's his only chance. But here you can just play Rook C3 and take on E3, right?
Yeah, and this pawn advances.
Yeah, also your idea of Rook C4 was not bad. Yeah, that's what he did.
Bringing the king forward.
Yeah. Now Rook A4. Put the Rook on A4, take on A3 as well, right?
Yeah.
But King E5 he played. King F3.
King E5, the idea is to...
No, King F3, Rook C2. That's the point, I think. Suddenly there's
Rook
checkmate
H4?
on F2. Oh,
G2.
sorry. Oh, G2. Luckily it works out, but I missed it.
Now the king comes in, yeah?
Yeah, king comes to E4 and now it's resigning time. Yeah. Okay. Now we can show the other game. I feel Leon will just resign any moment. Rook F2.
We'll just wait for the end of this game because we do have a lot of time between the breaks. And yeah, and any interesting questions or tidbits from the chat, feel free to ask yourself the questions with it, because I'm too lazy to do that.
Ask questions about what?
I mean, if the chat is asking any questions that you want to take, feel free to knock yourself out.
They're talking about Levon. Oh, there is a question which is interesting. What is Keti's opinion on Queen's Gambit controversy? Nice. I put Keti on the spot.
It's a big topic.
The thing is, I don't know the controversy, so I cannot even answer.
It's okay. It's a small stream here we do, so you can be completely honest. It's not going to get controversial. You can say anything here.
It's because what is going on is that not many people understood what's going on, and sadly everyone can speak, right? And I have seen so much negative comments about about Georgian chess player, and not only Georgian chess player, she's just she's a chess legend. And I think in the end they will agree on something, and it will be just.
What is the controversy?
At least they will apologize for this, because
the controversy is basically that in the show Queen's Gambit, I think it was depicted that Nona Gaprindashvili, she did not play against the top class men players in the world, which in fact she did, and for this reason Nona is suing.
The thing is that it was other than that, and I have seen her interview in Georgian, where she says that for her it was more insulting when they said that it's Russian chess player, while Nona is just like a khachapuri for us. Like, it's as popular as any dish in Georgia, so it's like, it's just Georgia, and you can't call other nation. Like, it's so easy to check, and that's what really insulted her, I'm sure, with that. And the other thing is that it's like people are just talking about this 5 million, which was not at the beginning. Like, they just sent some letter to Netflix to change it and just to, you know, make a statement, and they did not respond it at all. So then it got ugly, and then some attorneys from USA got interested in it, and when more people are involved, more money is needed. And clearly they did not really just mention the number, it's some calculations, and that's how they calculated it. But for Nona at this age, I think for her, she doesn't really care about any million, but she cares more about the fact that this should be somehow fixed, because it's not true. It's not true. And when people are just saying that it's friction, we understand it's a friction series, but they're bringing a real person in it. Like, everyone would be insulted. It's like each of us could be insulted in that, if it comes with two very wrong information about you. So I don't know, in the end, I think it's going to be fixed, and we will see soon, right?
Is it? No, it's not based on her life. It's based on a fictional character called Beth Harmon. But since women's chess is so involved in the storyline, they also throw in some nuggets from the non-fiction world.
Yeah, she says that it was unnecessary drama, because it was in the last series, last episode, and the series was already so popular. Like, this last detail was not very important in movie, and that's what she brings. It was really unnecessary drama for the series.
Right. I myself personally, I didn't remember even the mention of this, but it makes sense. I think it's very understandable that she didn't feel good about it.
Yeah, she did not. She felt bad that she did not get responded earlier. Like, they started to write them right away after 1 week, and okay, there can be some mistakes, there can be some wrong information, but at least react on it, right? So they just made her really upset about this ignore. And the thing is that now what people don't understand what she's asking, and some people think that she's asking for money, which is this thing that we just learned. It's like some days ago that some money is involved, and huge number, right? So
yeah. What she's asking is for respect. Yes, it reminds me of
that's what she's asking, and her attorneys, which are very strong, they're asking for millions too. So I don't know.
Yeah, it reminds me of a popular line from a TV show in Hindi, which goes something like, "Humko paisa nahi chahiye, izzat chahiye," which the chat will understand.
Okay. When I was watching that, guys,
yes,
when I was watching Queen's, like, this series is amazing. We never had such a big boost for chess, right? Like, everybody is interested in chess because of this series. But it was the last episode, and when they said this, I was like, huh? Like my first reaction was, what? Like out of nowhere, they mentioned two unrealistic facts about a person who is a real, and for Georges it's very hard to listen, to hear. And then this series ended, and I was like, oh no, why this ended? It was so nice series, and it was somehow balanced. But I also had this reaction, like, what? Like, huh? Why they said so? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
It's gonna
I
be
kind of
fixed
zoned
though,
out.
so it's gonna be fine.
Kind of went to the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but getting back to the chess action, especially the Aditya game, which people were screaming for in the chat, not quite literally, but metaphorically. It was actually not as clean as we thought it was. Queen into a5, knight into a5, bishop d2, g6, pair of bishops clearly preferred. Sorry. Yeah, rook c1, bishop g7, attacking the d4 pawn. White captures pawn, black captures pawn, b4, knight has only one square, bishop b5 check, king d8, rook c2, bishop d7, bishop a6, knight d6, all normal moves, knight e2 attacking the bishop, developing a piece, bishop g7, the bishop goes back, bishop f4, e5, bishop e3, the bishop attacked, it moves back, king e7, developing the king, king f2, bringing the king forward, bishop c8, exchanging the bishop so that the rooks can get onto one of the open files. Bishop d3, bishop d7, the c8 square is cleared. Rook d1, rook a c8. Black challenges white for the c file. Knight c3 going towards the d5 square, not preferring an exchange. Bishop e6 covering the d5 square. Bishop a6, rook c6. And I think until this point, white kept a slight edge. White did keep that edge that he had in the opening. But here, white played a really bad move strategically, and it's something we in general as serious commentators warn you against doing in general, which is touching the b pawn and moving one step forward. White played b5, and this totally killed this a6 bishop, and I think here white kind of lost all his advantage. What do you think with it? Were you listening to any of it?
No, sorry, I just got something which I have to take care of. Can you give me 2 minutes?
Thank you, Vidit. This is what happens normally, guys. This is what happens all the time, but we caught it live on camera for the first time.
Sorry, just 2 minutes.
But you know he was doing something and you were just asking this on purpose.
The truth has to come out, Keti, all truth has to come out in life.
I know why you dislike this move b5. It doesn't look so bad because like rook c1, bishop c1, bishop a3 is some sort of idea that white is hoping. But then it also allows knight c4, right? You don't like this b5 because of this move.
No, essentially because it locks the a6 bishop out, It's like a boxing match where you're playing without an arm, without one of your arms. Why would you want to do that? Yes, it gives more power to the other arm, but it's still preferable in a long match to have both your arms in action. And what I noticed is Aditya does seem to make a lot of these strategic mistakes. He's very sharp, but he seems to be making these long-term strategic mistakes. And now after rook c4, bishop c1, rook d8, bishop a3, black has everything under control. Bishop f8, he defends everything. Aditya had to play bishop b7 to extricate that bishop. But after a couple more moves, bishop c6 check, bishop d7, black has everything under control. And after bishop d5, there is actually a very instructive moment here for black. Black has a very nice tactic. Do you want to give chat a chance to try and find it for black, Keti? Or do you want to...
it's some tactic here?
Yeah, black to play.
Black has
a nice tactic.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I say?
So black played this tactic. I think we give chat a few seconds first.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And then you can have the honor of announcing it.
Yeah, somehow you see, I lost this sense of shouting the move because of you. And now you have to ask me. And soon, if you continue to do so, soon you will be begging me to find some tactics because all your fault. All
What
your
have I
fault.
done?
Yes.
Yes, most of the chat did find the move. It does rook into c3, rook into c3, knight into b5, bishop b2, knight into c3, bishop into c3, and black is a pawn up. And all of this, it started because of this b5 move, which made white's position awkward.
Yeah.
So bishop into c3, bishop c5 check, f6. Black is just a pawn up, and he was doing pretty comfortable. And then the game changed towards the end, towards the very sorry, I stopped moving here. Yeah, it all went on, and this was the point. King d3, and here black is just winning. Black has a move which black has, I think, more than one move which kind of wins on the spot.
Oh.
And
Just to take the
started
pawn,
going
right?
wrong here. Yeah, take the e pawn. That's one way. Bishop into e4, and here.
Wow,
you
I
can
think this
just
was
play
mouse
b5.
slippery or not.
F4, yeah, it could be mouse slip. Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah, F4 could be mouse slip.
Like,
he played
how
this move
would
in
you
just 2 seconds.
voluntarily just give up this pawn and give this center?
Exactly, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I think this kind of upset Christopher, and he can still repeat. Maybe not. Rook e8 does bishop e5. So already it kind of became difficult. But f5, he had to take g into f5. He shouldn't have let this pawn on to f6, but clearly he got tilted. And rook f7, h3, g5, king e4, and the f pawn just queens sooner or later, and black cannot prevent this easily. So this was the story of the Aditya Mittal Christopher Yu game. The player on the screen.
Can we take a look at the standings before the game starts, so we can? Oh, they started already.
Yeah, I'm sorry about how long I took for the game to be shown, but the games have just started, and a very intense looking Abhimanyu Mishra was on the screen, but now it's been replaced by a calmer Prague and Mohammad Zada. The pairings for round 9.
What is the situation right now in Prague side? Like, does he feel some pressure right now, as he knows that he is doing well, and if he ends this day with a victory, that's going to be, amazing for him, or he doesn't really think about the result and he's just focused on the game? How it's working with him?
I think it's
I'll
very
let take this one.
Yeah, I think it's very rare to see anyone who is not focused on victory, right? Like, I mean, or focused on the result. It's only in theory we say that, oh, I just play and then see what happens, but everyone subconsciously wants or thinks about the result. And I'm sure, I feel Prague right now must be thinking that, okay, I am playing a weaker opposition, and Prague's chess style itself is to push a little bit more. Yeah. In general, like, even if he's playing strong players, he's not a typical solid player. He likes to take his chances. And I feel right now, considering the rating difference, he would definitely want to win. That also shows in his opening choice. He played the Khan variation. If he wanted something solid or different, he would have played e4, e5 or something like that.
He doesn't have a solid opening. The word solid opening does not exist in Prague's dictionary.
So I love this Khan opening, by the way. It used to be played by many people back in early 2000s. Now it's completely out of fashion.
Yeah, but there were people like I remember Richard Rapport used to play this quite a bit back in the day, and can't think of others instantly. But the computers do show a very nice advantage for white, but practically I think black gets very fighting positions. Yeah, kind of like the classical Sicilian too.
Yeah, but it's not really easy how to like get better. Like, white just castles, puts the rook on the center, and how do you like try to play for a win with black? I think white is very comfortable in general in such positions. In my childhood, I used to think that wow, there is dark squares, like black can play e5, then play b6, maybe bring the other knight to knight d7, knight c5. But the problem is what next? And the central pawns e4, c4 give a lot of space advantage for white, which leads to a comfortable game. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah, this system with bishop d3 is very solid for white. And there are also other options like knight c3 here and c4. But I think bishop d3 is the main line, and this idea with queen e2 and bishop e3, strategically quite instructive, quite common. But you do take out the good bishop of black while all the other pawns are fixed on the light squares. And I remember one of the first games with this queen e2 bishop e3 idea was the game between Adams, Ripka against Adams. I think there was a match between Adams against a computer, and it was one of the first matches where computer crushed her top human grandmaster 5.5. And my coach showed the game to me the next day, and I was able to find all these moves queen e2 bishop e3, and that's why I remember it vividly. It was sometime around 2006.
Bishop e6 has been played. Now, do you play knight to d5 or not is the question.
With knight d5, is not black happy to capture that? Or then it will be hard to play for a win, right? Knight b8.
Then
knight
rook
b8,
c1.
knight d7.
Yeah, I felt rook c1 and double on the c file.
As I know, Gunay Mamazadeh is working with the national team of Azerbaijan, and we know how strong they are and how good they are in the openings. So I'm not surprised that she chose something like this, very solid setup, as she's working quite close with the members of national team.
Mm-hmm. By the way, now if knight d5 again, we might see the lines which we're looking at
right
after capture.
So when you say members of the national team, do you mean like Raja and Shaq and those guys?
Eltouch Safarlin.
Right.
Yeah, because not in many countries is happening like this, that women are working with men, like men are working with women more correctly. So but in Azerbaijan, this is happening. They are working with the most talented girls, and here we have a result. She pushed so much of her rating for late years lately, and she even tried to get her grandmaster norm in the Women Grand Prix. She was doing amazing there.
Yeah, I think this tournament is also a very interesting environment where there are 10 girls, 10 boys. And in the very first tournament, the girls were just losing to the boys, It was like happening in every game. But about 3-4 tournaments into it, you see it's not as easy as it was in the beginning. The girls are catching up. And I think it really shows that it's just a matter of the environment that the girls are put into from a pretty early age. If they are exposed to the same competition, the same tournaments, and the same opportunities, my hypothesis is the gender is absolutely irrelevant.
There are some factors, of course, that are effects, and we can't really get over it. But this is very good start to give the chance to try, because it feels different when you play. Myself, when I play open tournament and when I play closed tournament among girls, it's totally different. It's more easier for me to compete. And when you're used to play against very strong opponents, and you're always in tension situation, you're getting used to it. True. And we just don't have enough tournaments to get used to this situation. Like, it just takes some time. Just we need to adjust the situation. And if we start, like if any of the girls starts like, I don't know, 1 point out of 5, the next tournament will be 2, 3, and so on. So it's just a matter of time and the opportunities, as Sri likes to say.
I think Judith used to play a lot in the open category, right? And that's why I think she...
Exactly. So she is the ambassador of Chess 24, and this tournament format. I'm sure she had an influence because I've seen some of these internal discussions, and she's completely against having girls only tournaments because she thinks it's not ideal for the girls to improve in. This tournament, the Hou Yifan Challenge, Hou Yifan also used to play a lot in the open section. In 2004 in World Under 10, she played against me. That was the first time we played. So already by age 10, she was competing in the open section.
How did it go, Sri?
I got crushed. I lost in like 30 moves with black. It went better the next year. I won the World Under 12. She was also one of the main competitors, but I still couldn't beat her. We drew that game. And then I never got a chance to get my revenge.
By the way, do you think there might be an upset in this round? Like Prague's position seems a little bit unpleasant.
I've seen Prague win from all kinds of positions.
Well, I really dislike black's position because white just is going to double on the c file. Okay, he's not going to lose. Yeah, he's not going to lose. He'll make a draw at least.
She.
No, I'm talking about Prague.
Prague. I thought white cannot lose from this position.
You have to listen, Srinath. You have to become a better listener.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Okay, at least weakness is found. Now you can work. Starting from the streams, commentaries.
Yeah, if only it was that easy.
By the way, knight f5 is very interesting. Now knight to c4. I like how white has played this position. Now the knight is coming to b6, which will be a very strong outpost. Prague is getting slowly outplayed here. How do you parry the threat of knight b6? Do you go queen d8?
But this doesn't
not
it's
ideal.
knight b6, right?
Yeah. This doesn't look nice at all, allowing this knight on the b6.
Yeah, only compensation for black here is this light square bishop, which doesn't make too much, but maybe there will be some play on the queen side, a4, b4, b5.
Yeah, you just have to first defend the e4 pawn.
I wanted to play a very cute move here. That is a move like h3. So the thing is, black wants to play knight d7 in this position.
But if I take on e4?
Okay, that doesn't work out.
Not all cute things.
Vidit wanted to say something nice and he was like, cold shower.
You know, normally I wouldn't have pointed it out, normally, but because it's Vidit.
I deserved it. I take it. I'll proudly take it. Good one, Srinath. I would like if Srinath did more of such things, like outsmarting me, but it rarely happens. So.
Sure, whatever helps you sleep. So Bonita is asking, after knight b6, rook into c1, rook into c1, rook b8, can we later on play knight c8 and exchange the knight? You can certainly try, but I think white will not be interested in the trade.
Queen d8
but knight c8 is a good move.
Queen d8 has been played. Now the thing is, you're not forced to play knight b6. Maybe you can prepare it somehow.
Yeah.
With something like a4?
We can do h3 here.
Now you can, yeah?
Because there's no knight b6 anymore, so.
But b5 as well.
Yeah,
I was worried about
yeah.
b5.
Now?
Which is why I wanted it. Yeah, because if you free this, then you no longer have a outpost here. Yeah?
The thing is, on knight b6, it's trapped. After capture rook b8. But in the game, knight b6 has been played, and that kind of is premature.
Yeah, f3. as anticipated, and
Oh,
now either
F3
knight
played?
d7 or knight c8.
Yeah, now it's completely fine for black. I don't
So
see any issue.
what should have been played here?
It's
How do
not so
you
easy.
prevent knight c8?
Yeah, knight c8 now is very good.
How about to play b4 and after knight c8, knight c4, just to keep more pieces?
But if I take this,
oh yeah, okay, again this.
it clearly shows that neither of you listen to me at all. You just don't pay attention to me.
We just follow the standard practice set by people.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's true. I feel
F3. Now, do you think he'll play knight d7 or knight c8?
I think knight c8 because knight d7 allows some knight c4.
So this could be the first game which Prague might draw.
It also brings rook on c8, right? If you capture the knight, then the next will be rook, and this will simplify the position.
Yeah, I think White should keep the knight.
But I think even in this position, there is some room to keep the game going. Yeah, the dark squares.
Yep. Let's see some other game. Do you want to just do a quick check?
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm very curious about the Vincent game or Aditya Mittal game, where Vincent seems to. Oh my God, what has Aditya done to his bishop? Why doesn't he like his bishops?
Now this looks very good. In fact, you can even take on f6 and go knight e5. I don't know if it's the best, but now rook g6, bishop h5, so many ideas. But you feel kind of sad taking giving the bishop on e5. Yeah, it's such a monster. Maybe there's something even better.
Knight h4, knight g6.
Yeah, knight h4, I was worried of knight e4, but then you probably just play rook h3, right? Just defend it and then continue with the plan.
Okay. Knight d4 was played.
Yeah,
the idea is to play
played.
bishop c4 and knight a5 is a threat.
One of the ideas, yes. The engine did not like it so much.
Yeah, but Keti likes it. Yeah, it's very interesting how she immediately looks at all the attacking options. Yeah,
I like more bishop f6 to be honest. Bishop f6 and knight e5 is the move I would choose.
You want to remove opponents, the piece that creates tactics.
I feel more comfortable when I know that there will be no counterplay. For instance, knight now might be some have some active moves, knight e4 and so on.
Yeah.
G4.
G4.
It's quite sad that this bishop is so bad there. It's like...
Oh, this looks so awful. Oof. The question is how black gets mated. Bishop d3 somewhere, right? Or bishop f3 and just kick this knight away. You're spoiled for choice here.
Yeah. There can be something like g5, h5, bishop h5 sacrifices too.
You just want to sacrifice and mate, yeah?
Yeah, why not? With d3 idea.
Oh, he did play g5.
Oh, d3 first. d3 first, knight d6 is only move, and then bishop h5. g5.
Ah, okay. g5, h5, d3, knight
g5 is on the board, yeah. Pawn takes.
I thought bishop d6 and queen d1.
Yeah, bishop takes d6. Good, looks good.
And yeah, I like this queen d1 move, you know.
This is very bad. So Aditya seems to be in trouble big time.
Yeah. h5 played actually. We might see this happen.
Yeah, after d3, it's pretty much like forced, right?
And we also have Bristi Mukherjee on the chat, who is one of the top players in her age group. Shout out to her. It's actually a pretty strong chat.
Nice.
Can we see the other games, or you want to wait for the finishing move here?
I think we can wait for the finishing move. Yeah, it's not going to take too much time. Vincent doesn't have a lot
Oh,
of
the
time.
thing in Prague's game is getting more interesting.
Oh, he just took on
Yeah,
h5 directly.
Oh,
Take
and now
now
Queen D1.
Queen D1.
Yeah,
Queen
now Queen
H7,
D1, Rook H5, King G6, Rook
Rook
H8.
H8, and Queen H5 is
Ooh,
just deadly.
nice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just pity. It's completely lost.
yeah. Yeah, I think we can move on because Aditya has this habit of playing till the very, very last.
No, I saw him shaking
He
his
doesn't
head.
resign.
Yeah, he realizes that the position is really bad.
Yeah, but
Okay,
he
we can
doesn't
move on.
resign.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
move on.
yeah. Prague has done something really clever, by the way.
He gave up D6 pawn.
Yeah, but I think before we get into this game, let's have a quick check at the Abhimanyu Leon game. Just see what is happening here. Looks pretty equal to me. It's all symmetrical. It's all equal. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's the status update in this game. And the game between Avender Liang against Vaishali. Vaishali is actually better. Vaishali,
Oh,
wow.
Vaishali is outplaying a wonder. Nice.
Yes.
That's very
Tempted to
impressive.
throw a bar at you with it, but I'll restrain.
Just Queen B3. Yeah, take the pawn. Yeah.
Despite your company, I still have that niceness in me. Glad to know that.
Mhm. Queen E6. Now, what? Rook F6 you play? No, Rook F6, Queen E7. So probably you just bring the rook.
Yeah, for now you don't worry about this, yeah, because this kind of leads to favorable exchanges.
Yeah, just
I'm
not
not.
just not to allow Rook D8 here. Like play Queen C4 or something.
Yeah,
Or
but this
any
won't be
other
easy
move.
to convert this. So Vaishali has really less time. She has
Oh,
played Rook F6.
she played Rook F. Now Queen
Yeah,
E7.
Rook C8.
Queen takes G7. Take everything. It's not so simple.
And yeah, it's not so
After
simple.
this, then G file is open. Can we do something on this file? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do with Rook F8, but there is Rook into C7. It's not easy, and usually this is around the time when Vaishali usually makes most mistakes. Around this 1 minute.
How about no.
D what? D4?
No.
To get some Rook
Yeah.
G8? Yeah, I see what you're thinking.
Too much.
It's
But I
it's
think,
it's very
like,
creative.
for instance, Rook D6. Let's not give up this Rook D5 one.
He played Rook C1 by the way.
Rook
Now
C1.
I feel
Two is
there can
hanging.
be no C7 is hanging, right?
Yeah, I wanted to attack F2, but
No, but Rook
knight
C2.
just goes King H1.
But maybe Queen A2 you can play, or you can play Queen A3. Pin the rook so that it can't take on C7, and then you can take the pawn on A5, defending
But
the
if I
pawn on
just take the
C7.
pawn on G7, she goes Queen A2, but again, Queen A2,
Yeah,
this
now
allows
Rook
Rook into
C7.
C7. Queen
Maybe
F2, King H1.
oh, it's now just heating up. Oh, maybe now just you have to capture on C7 at the end.
And you also
King.
do the same, yeah? Put the king on A8.
I don't know
And
where. I don't know.
why is this a draw?
Bishop D5.
No, with it. How many times in your life?
After Queen D8,
Oh,
dude. Listen.
sorry.
With it.
I
Oh,
just
this
I just
guy.
anticipated the.
Oh my God. But Queen E3 here still wins for black. But yeah. I mean, oh God, this Srinath.
I just saw a mate in one and assumed you missed it. Can you blame me?
So excited to troll me. But Queen A2 seems like a natural move, but yeah, Rook C7, yeah, that's the problem. She kind of lost control of the position very badly.
But
Yeah, look at
the
the
position
time
was
difference.
messy.
Like,
Sorry?
White has 2 minutes extra on the clock. That
Mm.
might be cause of it.
No,
Why
but
is
I
it?
think to be fair, the position was messy, and also I think we are getting to this point by force, yeah. So it's a question of what White has here.
Why is he thinking? Yeah.
maybe he's thinking what he wants to do at this point, because it's all forged until this, and then he can quickly blitz out the moves and pressure Vaishali on time. But what do you think White has here?
It's a draw, no? I think I was thinking Queen D8 and Rook C7.
And
Yeah,
Black
and
has
then
to repeat, yeah?
Yeah, give a check.
Or Rook C7 is on the board. Or Queen F2.
Can I do some Rook F7 here? Takes Queen B6 check and some Bishop C8.
Bishop A5.
Queen C7. Or, yeah, Queen C7. Or Queen F6. Maybe give a check first and then Queen F6. Not totally clear, yeah. He goes Queen D8, King A7. All this has happened.
Rook C7 played. I think Vaishali will repeat. I think she'll just repeat. She'll not take any risk now.
It's hard to say, yeah. I mean, I don't know her that well. Yeah, but Rook F7, Rook F7 is possible. If she sees it, it is definitely playable,
I think.
Because you see that you're not losing.
I think she'll repeat.
Keti, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking the game of Prague against Mamzada, to be honest. I've not seen this for
Keti always sidesteps such questions.
What? I'm not avoiding.
Okay, B3 or Catalan?
Srinath thinks that everyone is avoiding him by practice.
Oh God.
Now you're avoiding.
You have to ask me that question. Like, we have to play some game with this, fast questions, and then you have to ask that. Like, for instance, cats or dogs, coffee or tea, and then you have to ask me G3 or
Vidit or Anish.
Like,
I think Anish will win. By the way, she did repeat.
Yeah, she did repeat. She's repeating, yeah. She's down to 2 seconds. Play.
What flag?
What is happening?
No.
No, it's
okay, didn't get updated. Yeah.
Can you show Prague's game
draw.
now? Oh, Prague has
game.
some chances. He has some chances now. It's very interesting to see if Prague can score 9 out of 9. Yeah.
Yes.
Queen C3 played, attacking on A5. So A4 will be played, I think. Now you put bishop on C4, right? And now, do you play King F8? Bring the king to center so that you can play Queen D4 and exchange the queens at some point.
But
why not Queen D4?
Why can't you do it right away?
Because I felt that the king was a bit far. He played it right away. Makes sense. Now White should not exchange. That's my intuitive feeling. I have not calculated. Queen B4, right. Can you do such a thing? Like go for activity? No, but King H7. King H7. And now Queen B5. You feel like it's wrong. And E4 or something can. I don't know. It's very complicated. Oh, she did this happen?
This exactly happened, yeah.
Oh, she played F6 and now she's losing. Wait, what? How do you lose?
Just take the pawn. Just take the pawn. Just take the pawn. There's no bishop d3 check. Yeah, king g7.
Oh, she cracked under pressure.
It's amazing, yeah. Prague, just play. Keep the position open. Make sure there's no forcing draw for your opponent. And he's just faster in chess calculation.
Very impressive, yeah. Very impressive. 9 out of 9 is never ever easy. Great job by him. Of course, it's not done, but yeah, it's heading in that direction.
He has a good chance now.
96, 94, queen comes to b2. Oh, queen e1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, any
just
move.
take
queen b2.
Yeah, queen b2.
Queen b2, yeah. No, it's wow. 9 out of 9 for Prague. Amazing.
Guys, be ready to spam Prague OP with all the hearts. Amazing performance by Prague. Wow. What an amazing bounce back. Once again, to reiterate, he had a bad tournament just before this, and he had only 2 days in between. And it has just been an amazing show of chess, an amazing show of mental ability as well.
Really, I agree. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, many
9 out of
players
9.
would be just distracted by the previous result.
True, it does affect, and even if they're in good shape, not to make a single draw in so many games, and the opposition, he might be the top seed, but still the opposition is not that weak. Of course, it's very much possible to lose one of the games or draw, but yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, no one else has done it in the history of Challengers Chess Tour, and no one else has done it in this tournament as well. Clearly, he's the only one who's been able to do it.
Epic.
And he has done it, guys. He has done it. 9 out of 9. Wow. Amazing performance.
Yeah, nice. So who did not believe in that chat?
I did click on 8+ in the poll, so
yeah,
that turned out good. What is happening in other games? But okay, the moment is of Prague, of course.
Yes, true. The other games almost all but over. Abhimanyu is making a draw against Liang, and there's one more game going on between Murjan against Balaji, which Murjan is just completely winning. He's just up by 2 points. To update you on the results of the other games, Vincent defeated Aditya, Christopher Yu drew against Pavel Teklaf, and Vaishali drew against Liang Avenda. As we thought she would.
What are the how do the standings look like? It's not updated. Yeah, it will be updated after the game.
More games.
Yeah, it will be updated after the last game.
Okay, so let's wait till there.
Although no surprises on who's at number one. Yeah, we have the standings on the screen. Prague showing there's a clear daylight between the number one and number two. Prague at 9 out of 9. The next player at 7 out of 8. One game less, but it's still a big lead. And Aditya with 5 out of 9, putting on a decent performance. Leon will also join him at 5 out of 9. And Vaishali, she started well. She had 2.5 out of 4. Today was not her best day, but still 3.5 out of 8. A very respectable score. And she's among the top among the girls.
I'm quite surprised to see Abhimanyu Mishra at number 13 spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot will change on a lot depends on the pairings you have for the first 2 days. So if you see the cross table, Abhimanyu has had more opponents from the top, and he's some Prague has to play 2, 3, 4, and 5. He has to play all Keimer, Christopher Yu.
Actually,
yeah, Prague had really good pairings, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it's still quite open, and we still have 2 more days. But yeah, I mean that's why we wait till then.
Oh, he only played against a Wander. Yeah, that's the only GM he has played. Apart from that, he has played mainly. He played all the women players so far, I think.
Right.
He did play, and some of the Indians. One Vaishali. No, he didn't play any other Indian yet.
Yeah, well, they were literally playing, I guess, from the same place. So all the games over for day 2 of the Hou Yifan challenge, and let's have a quick look at the results before winding up. Yes, Prague once again. Prague OP, Prague's day. We can't stop praising Prague enough for his absolutely fabulous performance. Vincent Keimer and Christopher Yu pursuing him closely. The games between these two, the games between Prague against Vincent and Christopher will be very interesting and to be watched for in the next 2 days. Christopher Yu on the 3rd spot. Then there's a clear difference between the top 3 and the rest of the field. Pavel Teklaf trailing at 5.5 out of 9. Liang, Aditya, and Leon with 5 points, and Murjan and Leitingi with 4.5. Vaishali, Gariflina 3.5. and the rest of the field, Zhujainer, Abhimanyu, Sokolowski, Olivia, Gune Mamadzada, and Balaji. So that's the standings after the end of day 2. Once again, fabulous performance by Prague, and again, can't praise him enough. And thank you so much, chat, for hanging out through the whole stream. Thank you so much, Keti, for joining me. And Vidit, forced to be polite with you on an official stream, but a pleasure as always.
Thank you, guys. And
Thank
chat,
you.
it was a joyful time and honored to be here.
Yes. And before we sign out, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow, same time at 7:25.
Bye-bye.
Bye.